Yeah, there's two people already. Hurricane and Esther. Hello. Well, you're the earliest. You're the earliest birds. Get the worm. Marilu, Aurora, welcome. I guess the mic is not here yet. There's Sheila and Albert. Welcome, everyone. I know the new time is supposed to be an hour from now, but I wasn't sure if there would be people early, so that's why I went ahead and opened it early. But looks like there's already 7 of you, so that's good. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Hurricane, when is your last day of school in the Philippines?
Actually, Doc, I am not in the Philippines. I am in Thailand. So
I
yeah,
forgot
we
about
don't have students. Yeah,
you
we
don't
don't
have
have
any.
students right now
Oh, okay.
because we ended around February or end of February, first week of March. But still, we still have 1 week more to go to school
Oh, wow.
next week. But no more students within 2 weeks already.
Okay, wow. And so when do you get back for the new school year in Thailand?
In the month of May.
Oh, you got a long break, don't you? Like
Yeah,
a
Doc.
couple of months. Do you go back to Philippines during break?
No.
No.
Not so sure
Okay,
because I
well,
have also a student there.
okay. It's not expensive to go from the Philippines to Thailand, right? Is it
Yeah, maybe the plane ticket round trip is around 10 baht.
what is that?
10
About
a
$200.
total of in the Philippine money that is costs maybe 18 pesos, 18,000.
Okay, so that's about $300 here, 300 something
Ah,
dollars. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Marites, welcome. Yeah, that's about $300. It's not too bad at all. You know, my dream, and I was telling my husband this the other day, one of my bucket list is to go to Philippines again and then visit the different countries, just like go spend time with family and then bring some friends and family to the trip and visit Thailand and Indonesia,
Yeah,
Vietnam.
no.
That
Yeah,
was good.
Thailand is a nice place. Of a lot of places to visit, and the cost of the food is very cheap,
I'll
unlike
have
the
to
Philippines.
contact Hurricane if I end up going.
Sure, sure. I hope I can be there so that every time I have to visit here, oh, Doc, that's why I really have the plan. I have really the hope that I can be there, Doc, and I
Into the
really
US,
want to
yeah.
see you.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
thank
Doc.
you. I would love that too. What is the pay in Thailand right now for the teachers?
Actually, we can consider that there's a discrimination between the native and the
Really?
Filipino, Doc.
Why?
Yeah, we have the low, we have the lower price, Doc.
Lower rate? It's not the same.
Yes,
In the US, we have a salary schedule and
not
you can
not here.
discriminate because it is everybody has to go with the salary schedule and it is
So,
based on
but
your years of experience
yeah,
and
yeah.
free.
Here it's different, Doc. We have the lower rate.
Like tell me an example, like how much to how much, between how much
Uh,
and how much.
act, yeah, actually, it depends because private school is different from government school. So it's based on my status, doc. And if we are under agency, commonly we will not reach until 12 months.
Ah,
So probably we're only 11 months.
okay.
So it's a case before actually only 10 months. So I supposed to transfer to another school because they hired me, which is higher rate.
Hmm.
And the agency hold me, they don't want me to go. So they made me into 11 months and a half, something like that. So at least.
Give you
So in my
extra.
case, though, in my case, it's only 30 baht,
What, how much is that in peso?
maybe almost 50.
50,000. So about
But
900.
others in the private school, it's only 22.
And
But it's 12 months.
that's
But it's 12 months.
22 for the whole for the that's a month, that's
Month, for,
per month
a
or per
month, a
year?
month, month.
That's per month. Okay,
22.
so
Uh,
900 a month. So golly,
tw-
that's not very much. 9,900 is
22.
$10,000 a year. That's about one fifth of what we pay here. Like in Arkansas,
Yes, no,
say times
too,
five of that.
too low.
Yeah, times five of that. But of course, you have
You
to
can,
know that you also have to spend dollars. So, you have
yeah,
to sit down and figure out which one is
it,
better. Yeah.
yeah, anyway. But when you are a student, especially in nursing, oh, it's really a struggle.
Yeah. Are you a nursing student or I mean, do you have a nursing student?
Yeah, I have a
And
first year nursing student right now, Doc.
but you have to
Mm,
remember in the Philippines, it's I've already helped someone, one of my nieces to, Mama and I did, to finish her nursing, and it's
mm-hmm.
a tenth of what it is here in the US. So it's pretty, I guess to us, it's not as expensive because it's cheap there. The tuition is cheap there. Like here in the
Yeah.
US, each course would be, I mean, like a 3 hour course, maybe, I don't know, maybe about 900. Let me see, three. I don't know now, but anyway, maybe 30,000 for a course. So that's
Oh.
just one course. So how
Yeah, actually the tuition is just very okay. The only thing is the expenses, Doc. Outside expenses.
oh, okay. The outside expenses like what?
Personal expenses, the boarding and everything.
Oh, okay. Because they don't go home. They go stay, you stay there, I guess.
Yes, yes, Doc.
Okay, well, that's very nice of you.
I
We'll
hope
come
you
back
can
to,
visit her, Doc. Yeah, it's
yeah,
so
that's
nice.
someday. It's on my
Yeah,
bucket list.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's too different. The living is too different from the Philippines because you can just go around here around 24 hours, nothing happens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
In the Philippines, it's not like this here, though.
right. Well, in
Um,
here in where I live in Arkansas, it's very quiet. Just like parang it's like province in the Philippines. And so
wow.
it's very quiet here too. But I love culture. I love different culture and I love food. I'm a foodie, so I like to try
Oh,
different foods from different cultures. So that's why I love
yeah.
traveling because I love to try different foods and
Try
yeah.
and
So that's
experience.
that.
It's
Yeah, I
right.
have to lose like 50 pounds before I go do that because then you'll gain another 50. So anyway, so thank you
Yeah.
so much, Ricane, for sharing about
Thank you.
Thailand. How about the others? Esther's here. I see Tigly. I need to find my glasses. But Sheila, any of you want to talk? Crystal is here. Marites, Marilu, Albert. Hey, Albert. Aurora. Albert, what's up with you? Albert talking. Well, I have you. I'm
Hello,
gonna,
Doc. Good evening.
hello, good evening. I'm gonna post
Good
the
evening, Doc.
agenda here. Let me see if that's gonna show up. Uh-oh. Is it gonna show up? Nope. I guess it's not gonna let me post that. It won't let me. Oh, there it is. So can you see the agenda? Let me see. Hmm. I'm trying to do the what did you say, Albert?
Hello, Doc. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, you have a nice view right there. Are you still at your family's resort or are you home?
Yes, Doc. I'm still here in the resort,
The
in the
resort.
beach. Beach.
I know, I'm so jealous. That's another thing I'm really missing is the beach. Yeah, it's been 2018, so it's been the last time I was in the beach when I was in the Philippines because we've not gone. COVID happened, and then we have not gone lately. So yeah, I miss it. But do you know the beaches in the Philippines and the US are so different? Like I really love, I'm very biased to the Philippines, I guess, because Pacific Ocean must be looking better than the Atlantic Ocean because the only really beautiful place here in the oceans here are like in Hawaii are good because that's still Pacific, right? And then in Florida, in the Destin area is really good. But some places are so like murky, dark, not very clear, and not very white beach like in ours, and not very like in the Philippines when you go, on a boat and you can just pretty much see the bottom because it's really clear, right? And that's
Yes,
not the
Doc.
case here. That's not the case in some places here, but the Destin area in Destin, Florida is good. And so anyway, where my daughter is, she lives in Hawaii, in a big island. Their beaches are nice there too. But if in some places in Florida, Alabama, Florida, they're not as clear, is what I noticed. But it might also just be the place where I was. Here's Giselle. Welcome, Giselle. Giselle, I don't know. Mike will be here, but do you want to be my co-host while waiting for Mike, or do you want to do it? I don't know if Mike will even be here. Where's Giselle at? Anyway, so Albert, do you have anything new to share or anything?
Nothing yet, Doc. I love to listen.
Oh, okay. That's good. Well,
Because
anyway, so
yeah.
what I went ahead and opened it an hour early because what I said on my emails and also on the Facebook was that we were going to start an hour later, 8 o'clock here, which, this is only 7, because because of some people might want to sleep in because I was calling some of the teachers that are already teaching here, and they said it's really hard to wake up because that's the only time that we could sleep in. And so I
Yeah.
understand what they mean. So that's why I said, well, let's just move it. And now instead of having it every other week, we're doing it once a month, and it's every first Saturday of each month. So when we do it because it's the first Saturday we are here, and it's about 8 to 10 is what I said. Today it might be longer than that. I mean 7 to whatever we get done because I told everyone to come in about an hour from now. So you are the early birds. So anyway,
Yeah.
so thank you
Yes,
for
Doc.
coming on. And
Welcome.
so you are a listener. Okay, how else want to talk? Kirstel. Kirstel, you knew because I don't remember seeing your name before. I'm Merlina. I'm Dr. McCullough. Kirstel, tell us about how you found us.
Hey, Doc. Good morning.
Hi,
Oh,
Giselle. Finally, you're
hi,
here.
Doc.
Well,
Good
hello.
evening. It's been a
Evening.
while.
Oh, there she
You
is.
know what, Doc?
I
Oh,
remembered your
oh,
face now.
actually, Doc, I was like hesitant to be part of this meeting because one of the requirements as a math teacher there in US is driver's license, and then I don't have a driver license yet. But I really love to be part to
Yeah,
be
but
in
it's not
US.
my
That's
requirement.
why.
Don't worry. But anyway, so most it's actually that's a visa sponsors requirement. It's not even a that's not even I don't think that's even a U.S.
Yeah,
embassy requirement.
I communicated with my ma'am. What's her name? Michelle, Mom
Oh,
Michelle.
that's a requirement then.
And
Okay,
then
so that's
yeah,
Michelle's requirement. Okay, I
she
was
told me
wondering.
that it is
Yeah,
one of the basic requirements that I need to have. That's why I was like,
yeah, but you can
yeah,
still attend
I
and
was not
learn.
happy about it.
Yeah, you can still
And then I
attend
was
and learn.
like, oh, maybe US is not for me for a moment, for now.
But it's not,
Doc.
you can get like a driver's license in the Philippines easily, can't you? I mean, can you not get like, well, what's the process there to get
Yeah,
it?
I'd love to. I'd love to, Doc. Actually, Doc, we're uninterrupted on April 1st up until on May, so I'm planning to get it on that month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd
but
love
yeah,
to.
for the meantime, though, go ahead and learn as much as you can because that would help you a lot. You don't have to worry about that for now. Yeah, but in the
Yes,
meantime,
that's why, Doc. That's why I entered this Zoom meeting tonight to learn more about the application. So maybe I can learn something from it, and then
yeah,
yeah, I can apply it in my application.
yeah. So the first one, the most basic one is really your FCE, your Foreign Credential
Yeah, I'm
Evaluation,
done
the
with it,
YOTA.
Doc.
Okay,
Actually, I'm done with it. I
okay,
have
good.
a complete documents already. I
Okay.
had my soft copy and my hard copy as well.
Good. You have your passport already? Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
Doc. I do
Make
have
sure
my
your
passport.
passport, yeah, your passport cannot be it has to have at least 6 months or 9 months in it that it won't expire within
Yeah,
that.
I think my passport, Doc, is has been like a year old already or 2 years
Okay.
already.
So
Yeah,
you
I
still
think
have,
so.
yeah.
Doc.
You
Yeah.
don't want people like one time I had an exchange student and she was leaving and her passport expired and she was and then
Ooh.
so you she has to stay like an extra week here before leaving, but I was leaving, but coming in they might not let you in if you have your passport is about to expire. So everybody check your
Oh,
passport. If you were one of
yeah,
those
yeah,
that
yeah.
planned ahead and had your passport years ago, check and see the expiration dates, make sure that it's not coming on. So
Yes.
renew it
Yes.
before you come here. And so FCE, and
Yes.
then if you have your 3 reference letters, And the reference
Of
letters need
course,
to be
Doc. I have a complete three references already, Doc. I have a certificate of employment. I think I'm good to go, except for the driver's
okay.
license.
Well, that's good.
That's what,
Your
yeah.
reference letters need to come from two administrators and one colleague or something. So two.
Oh, but my reference letter, Doc, is one from my principal and two from my colleagues. Is that all
You
right,
need to add
Doc?
one more principal or supervisor. Okay.
Okay. Can I
Yeah.
have the master teacher, Doc,
Yeah, that would be
as
fine.
a
Well, it has to be
supervisor?
somebody that has supervised you, that has watched you teach, that has watched you teach.
Mm,
So observe.
yeah.
Let me.
Yes, yes, yes. I will do. I will work on it because only have two colleagues and one for the principal. I
Okay,
have to work on.
sounds good. Giselle, I'm gonna make you my co-host. Okay.
All
Hey,
right. Thank you,
Doc.
Doc. Thank
Yep.
you, Doc.
Talking to you.
Mhm.
So,
Yes,
um,
Doc.
I apologize ahead of time if I'm gonna sometime turn off my camera or my sound because I'm coughing like crazy. I have I was sick the last few days and I just got back. I think it was 4 days or 5 days that I was sick that I emptied two tissue boxes. That's how bad my coughing was. And so finally got better 3 days ago. But so if I started coughing, that's what it is when you see me like, okay, she just disappeared. So anyway, anybody has a question? This is really more of a, I want to show you the agenda. This is what I'm planning to have today. So I hope I could copy and paste it.
Hi, Doc. I just want to share that Miss Shea is inviting the members of the Anaya's Way today here in the
Oh
Zoom.
yes, yes. Yeah, she said that, yeah. Um, let me see the link to the agenda is here. So if you want to open that, that's where the link is. And I put down there that we're gonna do a welcome, and I kind of will do a welcome when everybody's here around 8 o'clock. So where this is the early batch, Giselle, I said that we will start at 8, but I went and opened at 7 here because some people might still be used to the old time. Anyway, so I will do a little formal welcome whenever everybody's here in about 40 minutes. And I invited my sister, Malit Trotter, who is one of the co-founders, and my best friend, Lisa Dale, the other co-founder. And I said that between the three of us, we have more than 100 years of experience. So quite a bit. My sister's about to retire. She's counting the days now. And Lisa and I have been retired since about close to 10 years now, but we're still doing consulting work. And then I've invited a few teachers, I don't know how many will show up, to talk about their experiences here. That way, the audience or the members here would also be able to ask questions. I want you to remember that there it's not that easy. It's not like you come to America and it's easy. The money's 5 to 10 times more, but it's not easy. It's hard. Especially if you're put in an area where there's a lot of poverty and kids are not behaving themselves. They're not listening to you. They're not like the Filipino kids. Our Filipino kids will just sit down and listen. They come in and be talking really loud and all this and sometimes they test you and see how your boundaries and see if you are good at discipline because most of the teachers that came here would be crying like the first month, and that is very normal. If not crying, really upset because it's not something that's the same as the Philippines. It's something that's really new. So I just want to warn you that when you get here, you're going to say, okay, this is what she's talking about. But in some places, you might not experience it because you may be placed in areas where it's not like that. But here in the Delta part of Arkansas, where most of our teachers are, Leslie and them and Maria, that's a very rough area, lots of poverty. Like it's almost like of all the places in Arkansas, like that's the poorest part. Where I am, closer to Missouri, we have poverty here, but not as bad. So the kids are like night and day. The kids that I'm teaching here, like right now, I'm doing consulting work at Melbourne. I have 39 days there with them, and I'm actually teaching kids, like high school kids. And so I'm picking them four at a time. It's like kids that are struggling, that they did not quite pass the test, but they are high. They just need to be, they're good, but they need to be great. And so I'm pulling them four at a time. I have 24 kids, so 6 periods, but very different. I mean, kids are behaving themselves. We've learned a lot. I was able to really teach them a lot of reading comprehension and writing essays and vocabulary development and so on. So I do that 3 times a week for 13 weeks. And so I just want to share that your experiences will be so different depending on where you are. So most of the places in the US. If you're teaching like in the capital, that's where the big areas are. So that's the biggest part of the state, right? A lot of times there's a lot of poverty in there. And so you actually will experience a lot of heartaches because they're going to have problems. Like in Little Rock, for example, that's where, our capital is. That's like our Manila. And there are some, or I think maybe all, I don't know, at least in their high school, they have like that the security thing where you have to be scanned. They have to do that because of, the guns and all that. So, and all the students have to have a clear backpack. And I know in Helena, the school has also provided a clear backpack. And I think that's for safety because you can see what the kids have in their backpack without having them to open it. It's clear. So I don't know if in the Philippines they're doing that, but I know in here in the US, they're doing all kinds of safety precautions. So that's going to affect your experience as you come here in the US. So any questions that you have, you'll have misconceptions because when they call me and crying about it, and several of them would want to go home the first month. And so I would tell them, well, have you owed any money in the Philippines? And a lot of times they have. And I said, so if you go home now, you're not going to be able to pay for that. And it's going to be thousands of pesos. So you're going to be behind a few years. So you're pretty much digging, a hole deeper. So you might want to think about, what will you do different? And so I have an experience with a teacher that she really did suffer the whole year. And then she went home to the Philippines. And when she got back, I don't know what she did, but when she got back, all the learning that she has done, I guess, through the year, she kind of applied it on her next year. And her next year was like night and day. So different. It's better. And she was telling me, she said that I'm more prepared. I know what I'm doing. I've done a whole year. And so like a different teacher, like a different experience. So the key is knowing your students and knowing your content. So if you know those two things, plus you know assessment and you do reflect what works and not work, plus you collaborate, don't be shy about asking for help. It's okay to really ask for help and say, I'm struggling here. And you a lot of times you will have somebody in that school. You will have a go-to person, a person assigned to you. A lot of times it's your grade level team leader. Tell them I'm really struggling and tell them specifically what you're struggling in. It could be the behavior. They could help you with that. They could kind of show like what I've done when I was consulting with them is I would actually teach in front of the teacher. And I would actually show them some strategy, that would work. Like I would say, instead of screaming or whatever and panicking, I'm like, okay, everybody, this is what I'm going to do. When I see you being out of control, I'm going to stop talking and I'm just going to raise my hand. I'm not saying anything, but what you need to do is you need to raise your hand back. So that means that you're with me and you're going to look around and see that your friends are also doing that without hitting them. Just kind of get their attention and raise your hand back. Mouth has to be zipped, and so they did that. And then once they did that, and I would say, yay, good job. Everybody's with me again and all that. But I'm not screaming, but I'm getting their attention, that because if you're not, I'm going to count to three and that something's going to happen. I'm not going to tell them what, but I said consequence is going to happen. So I need you to be with me. So let's practice that. So I would do that and we practice it. And of course, somebody will not be with us, So I would say, okay, so what should you have done? That was an example of what, not to do. What should you have done? How can you fix that? You know, that so we would practice. And so then they know to expect. Sometimes it could be as hard as like, you know, sometimes I might say, freeze. And everybody has to freeze, whatever you're doing. And when you freeze, your mouth, of course, is zipped and you just do not move. And then let me tell you the directions on what I want you to do. Then I would say, thaw out. And when you thaw out, then you can go back to whatever. And this is really effective, like when they're in the middle of an activity and they're busy or whatever. And I want to give them a redirection because everybody's having the same questions. So instead of me trying to, you know, to tell 5, 6 groups, I would just say, okay, everybody needs this direction. So that's when I would say, everybody freeze. And so that's when I tell them, okay, everybody seems to have a misunderstanding about this. Let me tell you what it is, or whatever. And I'll make my correction and I would say, okay, thaw out. And so anyway, those little strategy like that would work because, but you have to establish that. And you have to have consequences that if you have a kid that's constantly not following whatever, then something has to happen. First, you know, you have to read your discipline policy and see what it is. Like, and where I was teaching, when I was teaching, I've taught elementary and high schools. When I was in elementary, the policy in that school is that if the first offense would be name on the board. That's like a warning, a verbal warning, name on the board to remind the student, don't let me put a check mark. Because a check mark means that you're gonna owe me lunch recess. You know, lunch recess is gonna be like coming to the classroom and eating in the classroom instead of having to go outside with their friends. You know, in some schools, they have actually a lunch detention. There's a place where there's somebody that's had a lunch duty and they're watching the kids. In my classroom, they are in the, I have, you know, a bunch of my students were wanting to come and eat with me. So they thought that was like a good thing. But the ones that are in trouble, they have to put in a special table. I call them the island. You have to go in the island because you're not here with here because you are, you know, you need to reflect on what you did. And you eat there by yourself. And the ones that are good, I have desserts and whatever with them. With the ones that are in trouble, they don't get that because that's part of the consequence. So the second check mark could be like a talk with the counselor. And the third check mark might be a trip to the office, you know, and some schools would change it daily, but some schools would keep it for the whole week. So anyway, but I did not really have much problems that especially that on Fridays, my students that did not get in trouble at all, did not come to lunch detention in trouble. They get to come and stay in the classroom, and their parents are invited to come, however, and then they come and eat with them, and we show the video that we have done all week, and we show it. It's like a show time on Friday, and they're not invited, and they cannot invite their parents if they have been in trouble. So anyway, so that worked for me. That I never, years of it, I never have any issues because they really want to be there. They want to see, you know, all our stories that we're doing. We were acting it out and we were doing all kinds of really fun things. And I was videotaping them and, you know, showing them on TV because we owned a cable company at the time. But then we're showing it to the parents live, you know, right there. I mean, not live, but, you know, the recorded video. And the parents were so excited and happy and so on. And the parents who, you know, whose kids were in trouble, they knew exactly. So I'm not invited because you got in trouble this week. And so anyway, so they knew because I also sent a letter to the parents that this is what's going to happen. If you don't have an invitation on, you know, Thursday, that means that your kid, you know, obviously have been in trouble. And we have our daily communication notebook. So they already know anyway that day when the kid get in trouble. So that's another strategy. And I know Giselle, you've used the communication notebook, right, Giselle? How did that work?
Yes, Doc. Good
Yeah, how
morning,
did
Doc.
that work? Tell me about how that worked in yours.
Every like for me, Doc, I've used the journal every after the day's session, the last session every day. Then I would like them to write their experiences of the day. As for me, Doc, I have seen, you know, the children would open up there. You would see their struggle in the class. You would see what are they feeling.
Yeah.
And there was one time, but I was allowing them to write in the 3 language, Doc. They can. I want them to use English, but they could also use Tagalog and Bisaya.
Very
So
good.
there would be, like there was somebody said na, karon ka nang wala ko kasabot sa gi lesson ni ma'am sa math.
Okay.
So lisod siya. Oh, lisod siya, wala ko kasabot. So with the use of the journal, doc, there is already the feedbacking, because sometimes when we question kids, do you understand? Sometimes the Filipino kids sometimes are very lax. They would say
You won't say
yes, but
anything.
definitely sometimes yeah,
Yeah,
they not. So
a shy thing.
that's
So
why
that,
from there I would see, yes, that's
yeah,
the thing, doc. You can see what are the students struggling,
yeah,
or where are the things that they love. There
yeah.
are also students that I am happy today because I have learned. I think that's from mathematics, doc. And that's very useful for me, doc, because
Yeah,
I would see their feelings in
honest
class.
feedback, yeah. And for translation, for those that did not understand what she was sharing, is that I struggled. I didn't understand what my teacher was teaching today. And so anyway, so Giselle was able to understand that this child did not understand, because as Filipinos, as you know, Filipino students, they're not gonna be as open. They're going to be more shy. A lot of them. I wasn't. I would always tell what I was feeling, but most of our students are shy there. So anyway, so Giselle, thank you for sharing that. So you feel like you're going to continue to do the reflection journal then, right? Because you have,
Yes, doc.
yeah.
And I would like also to share, but I was commented by the one of the I had applied for the ECP, doc. That's the promotion the Philippines has today, and I was promoted, doc, to T6 this as of this moment. Yes, I have
Oh,
processed my papers. Yes, doc, and
congratulations.
yeah, during the incoy, doc, we call that the incoy. That's non-observable competencies, doc. And I was using the journal as one of my evidences for what I've been doing in class. And one of the interviewers said, wow, this is good. You can make this as an innovation to also share it with other teachers so that they may use it, because they have read, doc. I have pictured all the my students' responses to their journals, doc, and they have seen it in my papers and they like it, doc.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you for using that, because and seeing good results, because I really did. I really saw, like, because as a literacy specialist, that's my area. So I was actually seeing how kids grew on even how they wrote, the types of sentences they were writing, and I knew what mini lessons I need to do, because for example, I would see, kids not capitalizing, so I would do a 10-minute mini lesson about capitalizations or end marks or using the comma wrong, so I would do a little 10-minute thing, or they're all writing in simple sentences and not complex compound, combined sentences, longer sentences, because I tell my students that when you write, you should write different types of sentences, not just simple. Because if you're going to be like in the US here, when they're tested in their writing and all of their sentences are all simple sentences, no complex or compound sentences, they cannot go past a level 1 or 2. They cannot do 3 or 4. So in order for you to have a higher level scores, you need to have those different types of sentences. And so my example I would use is like spaghetti. When you eat spaghetti, you have those little short spaghetti, and you have those little medium spaghetti, and you have this little long spaghetti that you have to slurp. The one that you slurp are the compound sentences, the two sentences you combined. And I would remind them, we use conjunctions, and conjunctions are fanboys. The for, so F is for, and then nor, and but, and O is or, and then Y is yet, and then S is so. So use those 7 things in order to combine your sentences, and your writing will be better. And so I would encourage them. Well, I'm also watching their message. I'm also looking at their structure and their construction of their sentences. So I'm really helping them personally and also in academics. So you could do that, something like that in your classroom. And to me, that's one of the things that like Giselle thinks, that one of the most useful things that I've had, because kids are telling about their sadness, their happiness, and some in 4th grade they were always talking about who they had crush on, and which kid is so popular, and all this kid is just clueless, doesn't have any idea, but 3 or 4 girls wrote about this kid, and you kind of know about what's going in the playground. Some kids would say like, Nobody played with me today. I was very lonely. Everybody was doing this and I was really lonely. So I was like in the swing by myself. So I would read that and I would I would talk to the person. We have always had we call them a class ambassador. So I would say, hey, do you know that so and so's alone during recess and nobody's playing with him or with her. So you want to make sure that somebody plays with, you do it or you ask somebody to do it because I do not want, especially if it's a new student, I don't want somebody to be lonely and alone because I always encourage students that you need to have at least one friend. If a new student, I would say, do you have at least one friend? Because you need to have that in order to you not feeling alone. Like now, I've been in the US 39 years, right? 87 when I arrived. I always tell my students now, I would say that, I know exactly how that feels because when I came in 87, the only person I knew was my husband. And then, of course, later on, immediate family. But other than that, I didn't have any friends. So when I developed friendships here, that was so precious to me and still precious to me because I was lonely. Here I was, lots of friends in the Philippines I left and families and I came to Arkansas and I did not know anybody. And so but of course luckily I have very strong interpersonal skills that I always befriend people. And so but some kids are not. Some of our kids are shy and they cannot, befriend people easily. My son Jet, is kind of on the shy side. He would say things like, Mom, I don't know how you do that. You always talk to strangers and you always like, it seems like you have known them a long time. I can't do that. And I'm like, well, Jet, we have different personalities and it's okay. It's okay to be different like that. But as long as you know how to adapt, it's the importance of friendships, because we don't feel joy when we're just by ourselves. Some people might, some people that would want to grow up to be researchers and they just want to be by themselves. There are some people, very unique people that do that, but that's very few, could be less than 1%. So anyway, so in our classroom, have them to develop friendships. That is called a social emotional learning. That's the USEL. So social emotional learning skills are things that you should model in the classroom, and you should, this is taking care of how they feel. And so writing the journal is one of those things that you do. One other thing that I've done was during somebody's birthday, I would take these little index cards, and then kids would say, like, we had a morning meeting, right, in elementary. We had a morning meeting in the morning. And so I give everybody an index card, and they have to write, one or two great things that, about this child or what they remember that they did together or something validation about this child. And the child collects it and have it. That's like the best present that you can give that child because it's a feel good thing. They have to be honest. They cannot just make it up. What are the things that you like? I love the way that you do this. I love that you do this. So like that you really helped me whenever you did this happened. I was doing this and you came in and sat with me because now it made me happy that you did this. Things like that to remember the things that that child had done. And sometimes it's a struggle because some of them did not. So I would tell them like, well, there has to be something good about that person. So I would just kind of give some examples. But later on, you form that really strong bond. That is forming a strong learning community in your classroom where they feel like they really care for each other, like we are family. And what goes here stays here. I cannot say Vegas rule. What in Vegas, what goes in Vegas stays in Vegas. But in here, what goes in Miss McCullough's classroom stays in the classroom. You do not go and blab about, oh, so and so's got an issue or a problem, to other people. This stays here within our class family. And so anyway, so if you have that, then you have to show kindness to students and they show kindness right back, not just to you, but to each other. And I told this before that when I'm observing classrooms, it kind of always tells me what kind of teacher this teacher is. Because when the teacher is kind to the students, the students are also kind to each other. But when they're like so mean to each other and the teacher doesn't even say anything, that tells a lot about how that classroom could be without you there. If an observant wasn't there, I wonder if that is the reality of that classroom. Are there some unkindness going on? Are there some screaming going on by the teacher towards the students? And are there some students being mean to each other and it's not being corrected? So to me, that goes back to, kindness, social emotional learning skills. Okay, any question? I don't want to be like, oh, we have that, what was it? What did I say? 10, 10 2, 10 2 strategy. Do you remember that 10 2 strategy? Anybody? Giselle, do you remember the 10 2 strategy I showed you? We're talking about strategies.
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc. You are going to talk for 10 minutes, then processing for 2 minutes.
That's right. So I already talked for 10 minutes. That's why I want to stop and ask you then, so you cannot just continue to blob and because the brain cannot hold all that. So you have to allow the processing. So this is where you anchor the information in. So you teach for 10 minutes, then you give it to the students, ask them questions and have them to be involved. That way they'll remember. And how I knew that's effective is that when I have my exit slip, 3, 3, 2, 1, for example, 3 things you've learned, 2 things that you want to share, and 1 thing that you still have a question on. The one that they're always sharing are the ones when you had anchored them. Every time you have anchored information and they remember those things, those are the ones they write about. So you might want to think about that in your classroom. Chunk your information. Do not do a 30-minute lecture. Do a 10-minute and then process. 10-minute process. So break it down in your head. This is where I'm going to stop. And I was so bad about time management because I get to talking and getting excited. So I actually have a timekeeper in my classroom, and I would have that child to set for 10 minutes. And when that is already sounding, then I'll make myself stop and I let them process, that because I'll forget. So Giselle, you need to give me 10 minutes and then I don't know, we have a signal or something. But any question from anybody else? Giselle's not the only person here. So if you have, this is how I tell my students, you can either do a text-to-text connection, or a text-to-world connection, or a text-to-self connection. So in here, you might want a text-to-self connection. Is there something that I said or Giselle said that you connect because you have already, that happened to you in your classroom? Or it might remind you of something you've read, text-to-text connection, or text-to-world, things that you have seen on TV or, observe in the world. So any of those connections are welcome. Do that with your students as well. When you do that, I welcome those. Some teachers are like snappy. I'm like, okay, I'm having this lesson. And if this child will ask something, and they always take it like this child is out of task, like they are not connecting to it, I would always ask this child, okay, tell me how this connects to our lesson. Because sometimes it might be a connection you just did not see. And this child has this connection. Those connections are actually more powerful because the other students are going to remember that connection. Okay, do not just snap at a child like, hey, you're talking, you're off topic or whatever. Do not do that. Try to find what the connection was. This because those are actually flexibility. In Arkansas Standard, just one of the things we look for is, those are teachable moments. Okay, do you take advantage of teachable moments that you saw a student reacted because it's something from his experience or from a book he has read or a movie that he has watched? Listen to those, okay? Let them have that connections because the more our brain works, where if you have connections, it will stay. It will have the long-term retention because it connects it. Because that's how it works. If there's a connection, it's making a bunch more connections in their brains. That's where learning occurs. That's where the brain will grow. And so don't stop the growth. So anyway, somebody could comment on any teachable moments that you had, your student had shared, especially if it's funny, because humor is one of the best strategy you could use in your classroom. When you are being funny or you think about something funny, they'll remember that. I have a teacher that I've served that the first 2 minutes or 3 minutes of his class is like a YouTube funny thing. And it's usually something connected to what they're doing. And so anyway, my kids would recall it. They would say, oh, well, so-and-so this week did this, and all this. This is the funny joke that was, that was shown and that connected to, simile or metaphor or anything like that they were talking about. And but it takes planning. You have to plan for that. But once you do, novelty is one, and humor, those are things that are effective for the kids to have. And it's not boring, because it's always something different. Some kids would say, I don't want to miss her class because I don't know what's going to be the opening. I don't know what she's going to be doing different today. So something like a little surprise that you do with students. Who does that here? Who does a little introduction in the beginning of your class where you have your bell ringer or your the fun thing that you do at the beginning of class? Do you have anything like that anybody here? Aurora or Sheila? Tigli, Esther, what do you do in your classroom that's kind of fun for your students? Marilu? I'm expecting you to talk, right? Is that a boiling?
Hello, Prof. I
Okay.
have a question.
Yeah,
I
good
have a
question.
question.
Yes,
My
Bulila.
question is related to the interesting thing that you do before you start your class. It's a good idea, by the way. When I was listening to the whole suggestion, it's a good idea to start off your classes with some fun activities. I just wanted to find out, how long do you do it? Like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, the
5 minutes.
activity?
5 minutes is ideal because you still have your content to do. So I would limit it 3 to 5 minutes. That's what I would do. Um,
All
Lee-
right, thank you so much. Thank
yeah,
you for the
yeah, because I think bell ringer. So Lisa is here. Is Lisa here, Giselle? No. Oh, okay. Well, that was an email then.
Not yet, Prof.
Bolilo, what country are you from? Are you from the Philippines?
No, I'm from South Africa, but I work in Thailand. I teach in Thailand. I'm in
Okay,
Thailand
okay.
at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question. Some people would do 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, but there's a lot of content you cover. So I would always just limit 10 to 5 minutes. That's what my rule for myself would be. Like when they first come in my classroom, they always have a 5 minute activity or a journal or something that they do. And I put the timer. And so while they're doing that, then I'm also doing my attendance. And here in America, we do lunch count, where we count how many people are eating lunch. So the cafeteria ladies would know how much to cook. And so we have to let the office know how many students are eating. So that's part of our housekeeping every morning. So that's about 5 minutes. And so that way the kids are still doing something busily while you're also doing your own housekeeping things. And of course, you set that up the first part of the year that they know that while you're doing that, they're also going to be busy. The moment I finish my housekeeping, I get up immediately from my desk and I will go all the way around and see if somebody is struggling. You don't want somebody to be sitting there for 5 minutes, not doing something, for example, journal. At the beginning of the year, you might have kids that struggle. Your struggling writers will not even know how to get started, all this. And some of them, I call them hand holding. You pretty much have to guide them, like, how do I start? And my favorite thing to say is, you are the author. You can do whatever you want. That's what authors do. You can decide on whatever you want to put there. It's not going to be wrong. So they already know by the time later on they would ask me, well, how should I do this? And I would just look at them like, you are the author, and they will just finish it. And I can do whatever I want. Same thing with art. What artist thinks. They would say, you're the artist. You can do whatever you want. You can design whatever you want. Because some of them would want to, and I think especially if they have control. I mean, parents that like the control, that like to tell them what to do or control them on their actions because maybe the parents have reasons because they misbehave. But anyway, so they feel like they have to ask permission for any little action. So in your classroom, give them that power, empower them to, like, you can make your own decision and it's okay. Especially on the creative things, I don't have to tell you this. I will show you what I would do, but you have your own thing that you do because everybody's different at this. but this is about me knowing your thinking. We're thinkers here. And since I don't have the power to scan your brain and know what you're thinking, I want it written on paper. So anyway, so yeah, good question there. Thank you so much. How do you say your name? Abulila? Abulila?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, you say Abulela, as you said it. Yes, you said it correct,
Oh,
Abulela.
good. Okay. Yeah, it just it's being pronounced the way it looks. So in our language, it's like I, E, O. So yeah, it's like Spanish. So we can usually read those. But thank you, Abulila, and thank you for attending.
All right.
Told you about our Zoom. Did somebody tell you?
Uh, Mitchell, I connect with her. We have a WhatsApp group. I'm in the WhatsApp group as well.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate you attending. And for those that just now got in, we have changed our Zoom schedule. Instead of every other week, we're doing it monthly now. So every first Saturday of each month will be our Zoom. So you don't have to ask. You just know that if it's the first Saturday of the month, that we'll be here. Okay, so we use the same link. I will always send links again to people who are in my email. So, but if I don't have your email, and it's McCulloughMarlena@gmail, just my last name, first name @gmail. If you want to be on my list that I will send distribution information to, email me, McCulloughMarlena@gmail, and the spelling would be under my picture there. And I will send, and you will be in my distribution list. So whatever I send out, you will get. And when I get a copy of the recording, I also give the link out to those people in my distribution. But if you are not there and you don't want to send anything, just go look in the Facebook under ITSA or under YouTube. You guys, if you have not visited our YouTube channel, I have a lot of things there that might help you in teaching. So we have both YouTube and Facebook. Okay, you can search under my name, and then if you put ITSA with it, my husband's coughing like me. If you put ITSA, International Teacher Support in America, and plus my name, it should show up. You should see my face there. Okay. And so we have 5 minutes before the actual 8 o'clock. We have 15 people here today. I bet we get more whenever it's 8 o'clock because I told everyone we will start at 8 o'clock here, which is about 7. We started at 7 earlier because that was our old time. I wanted to move it an hour because of letting people sleep in an hour in the morning of a Saturday because they were like, oh, I can't come because it's too early. Anyway, I don't see Giselle. When you see my sister Milet or our my best friend Lisa, when they come in, will you let me know, please? Okay, and of course when
Yes, Doc, I will.
Michelle gets here. Is there anybody else? I have invited a few people to like talk about their experiences. So some of you, Verlin, tell me about you. Have you gotten any interviews lately?
I'm sorry, Doc Marlena, I don't have my camera yet, and I am already here in the US.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I
I,
thought.
I chat you, I email you that.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. I'm like, I thought that she was, but I
Yeah,
was. Yeah, okay. Where are you? Where are you at now?
I am in Florida now.
Florida now. Do you like it? Which part of Florida?
In Kissimmee, near to Orlando.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so if we go to Orlando, I'll have to contact you, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Tell me
Nice.
about your experience. What shocked you? What would tell us about your first week?
First week, the school admin is good to me, and they let me to observe for the week, and they gave me I have my sub for a month.
Wow.
Yeah, I have sub for so that because getting in here is so hard, and also I need to learn the strategies they use, the technologies, the books they are used, how to execute to the pupils, and also us observing the classroom strategies
Mm,
and the techniques and how to handle them to behave during the class. It's hard, yes, absolutely, as you've said, and it keeps me every day. I reflect, what will I do to keep them straight in line going to the cafeteria?
yeah, yeah.
because I experienced some of my colleagues are shouting, "Oh,
Yeah.
how many times I told you, kindergarten is more than act behave than you, fifth graders." I am a fifth grader here, and it is hard because the admin is keep on because of the state test. It's
Yeah.
this they keep on
Pressuring.
testing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
having that you're having those testing boot camp now, right?
yeah.
Practicing. What subject do you teach, Verlin?
All it's hard. All
Oh,
I need to
okay.
learn all.
Yeah.
At the
Well, it's
same
not too.
time, living here, I learn also everything here.
Yeah. Well, what is the easiest for you to teach? Math?
Difficult all. Difficult all.
Even the math? The math should be easy. Math is universal.
Yeah, but I don't teach math here in the Philippines.
So when you say all, what is it?
Reading. The reading here is two types. There is what I, two 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 different subjects in math. Also, they have two types of math they teach. So I need to learn also
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah. But you are lucky, by the way, that you have, 1 week you got to observe and then one
Yeah,
month a sub that you I've never heard of anybody that does that. I never
yeah.
heard of a school that's able to provide that because that costs money. So you
Mhm.
are lucky. You are one of the luckiest folks
Thank
because they
you.
don't do that. You're
Yes.
lucky.
And
So,
they are good. They are good all to me, and the admin they are supported to me because I am only the
you
Filipino
only
in that school.
Oh, okay. So you feel like after how many months are you now here?
um 2 months.
Okay. So now
two
you feel
months
a little better second month?
yeah, better.
Yeah.
We need to adapt, as you said, we need to be flexible even it's hard, so we
Yeah.
keep yeah.
How
I
about how about the food and the apartment and all that? What does it look like? I mean, do you
Okay,
have
in apartment, I searched this apartment when I am in the Philippines, and I get lucky. They are good people here. We got here with no furnitures,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and the maintenance see so
Mm.
that our single bed, and we are lying on the floor with
Oh
the
no.
bed, and the maintenance said, "Oh, are you fit in there because I'm with my husband here?"
Oh no. And the single
Yeah.
bed is very little.
Yeah, see, are you fit in there?
Uh,
Yes. I have no choice. We don't have bed frame. And then our table is our luggage.
oh no.
Imagine.
And then
Imagine.
how did you get you when you got paid? Did you have to wait till you got paid to get it? Because some schools would actually like, teachers would donate things or a church would donate things for you to
No.
get furniture.
It's what's happened. And then the maintenance saw our situation in our apartment, and then they knock on the door. Come on, follow me. And they gave me the furniture. So what, I'm lucky. I'm here.
Nice. Yeah.
They gave all, yeah, here.
Have some good people there.
Yeah.
You have those, to look for apartments. If you're still in the Philippines or somewhere else, you go to Zillow, zillow.com.
Yes, I
Is
always
that what you
do.
used? Is that what you used? Or what?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, and
Zillow.
also Chat GPT.
ChatGPT
Don't
you also tell.
Chat GPT.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I use ChatGPT like crazy, but
Mhm.
anyway, yeah, that's really helpful because you really need to know what kind of area,
Yeah.
Google. I always use Google Google Map to actually
Mhm.
walk to see where that location is and to see the
Mhm.
whole road, to see actually
Mhm.
to be able to use the
Yeah.
Google
Mhm.
Map to do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good one to see how safe it
Mhm.
is and how,
Mhm.
how if you see neighborhoods that have lots of empty houses that are like really nasty and all this and some broken glass and maybe some drug addicts are hanging out there, you don't want to be in there.
No, no, no.
That's
Our
not safe for you.
no, no. Our community here is good.
Good. Okay.
Nearby there are supermarkets. We don't
Good.
have car yet, but the bus is accessible. We don't have car yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it
It's
takes time because you still have to save money, but
okay.
you don't have to buy a brand new one either. You can do like a used one, but make sure that you don't buy, what they call it, a car that's broken up and they sell it to you. They call them a lemon car. Don't buy a lemon car. Have some like one of your maintenance guys, ask for a favor to have them go with you so they can those that know about cars, have them to look at the motor, and seeing that if it's good before you buy it, because if you are just going there, we look like foreigners, we are foreigners here,
Yeah.
and they are going to try to suck it to you, they're going to try to
Mhm.
fool you, some of them will. So have somebody local and somebody with knowledge about mechanics, and then have them to look at under the car, under the hood, and make sure that it's good before you buy it, okay?
Okay, thank
Because
you.
yeah, if you buy brand new, of course you don't have to have that issue, but don't buy brand new, because by the moment you drive that car out of the parking lot, you already lost $5,000.
I
So
don't
it's
have
really
plan.
expensive. Yeah.
I don't have plan to buy.
Yeah, I think I have been in America 39 years, but I only have two brand new cars. The rest of
Mhm,
my cars were slightly used. It
mhm,
had some mileage already, but not
mhm,
too old, but it's just like 2 or 3 years old.
mhm,
But if you buy something that's really like, it's gonna get broken up quickly, it gets
mhm.
broken quickly, you're gonna spend a lot more money, because every time you have it fixed, it's gonna cost you a lot. So get a good
Okay.
one, okay?
Yeah, thank you so
But
much.
yeah, but you're lucky that you're able to walk though, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, is there some supermarket there for Asian? Because
yeah.
supermarkets
Yeah.
don't.
There's 4 bus away
For
here. There's
bus.
an Asian market. I 4 bus. Yeah, I take a bus. I take a bus. I don't have your
So you
yeah.
learn how to do the
Lucky.
buses. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I I
yeah.
Google how to ride a bus.
But see,
I don't know.
here in Arkansas, we don't even have buses. We don't have tricycles. We don't have taxis. We don't in where I am. So you have to either have walk, or you can call a friend or family to pick you up and take you.
Yeah.
And I,
It's
and I want to give you a hint for those that are new here, and you ask somebody to drive you, make sure that
mhm.
you offer to help with gas, okay? Do not
Okay.
just
I do
assume
that.
that somebody
I
will
do
just
that.
pick you up. Yeah.
I
Well,
do that.
somebody will pick you up and just like they are your chauffeurs, they're not.
No.
Okay, so you always
Mhm.
offer. Some people, a lot of people would not take it, but it's
Mhm.
still a good idea to always offer.
Okay.
And we don't just offer and not have the money. Make sure you have the money, because some
Mhm.
people might really need the money to gas up their car.
It's
At the
hard living here.
yeah,
Bills, bills, bills.
yeah. Everybody's spending dollars here. You cannot be
Mhm.
thinking that, oh, I'm new and they're gonna be taking care of me. No,
Mhm.
everybody in America takes care of each other, but
Mhm.
of oneself too, your own needs.
Mhm.
So I always even tell the teachers, when they come with me, a lot of times I would treat, I would be the one to pay or whatever, especially if it's something simple. But I would tell them, please offer, because I don't want you to think that just because I've been here, whatever, that I'm always going to be paying.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to assume that.
Okay.
Always offer.
Okay.
I may not take it, but in sometimes I may be so broke that I may take it.
Yeah.
But I always offer,
Mhm.
because that insults me that you think that I'm just going to be, paying every time. And that's not the way it is here in America. In America, it's pretty Dutch.
Okay.
Even husband and wife sometimes would be Dutch.
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, I've seen anyway. So, any Verlin, so what you're thinking about America before you came, is it the same?
Different,
There's
but
Shay.
yeah,
Hi.
different, but
Uh,
I love it here.
you love it here. Good.
Thank you,
Shay.
Miss
Yeah, thank
Merlina,
you, Verlin.
for
Nice.
all the things that I am the product of you.
Well, thank you, Verlin. What were the things that we that you learned here in Zoom that you're applying there? Are there some things that you learned
um,
you're using?
but, know my students first, the
Okay.
content, reflection, assessment, and collaboration.
Hey,
That
she
is the
knows
thing
she
that,
knows her five core propositions.
yeah,
Everyone.
Doc Marlena.
Nice. Well, nice to talk to
Yeah,
you. And thank you for sharing.
all the
Miss Miss
strategies.
Shea Verlin here is in Florida already, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to have her share with her experience. This is her
yeah.
second month.
I already contacted you. I emailed you if
I
you
know. I
remember.
remember now. You have to remember. I get hundreds of emails.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, So, Michelle, welcome back. I'm sorry you had problems logging in. Miss Verlin, I don't know if you know
Exactly.
Shay.
Okay.
Yeah, Shay.
We had storm.
Yeah, I know bad storm there in Florida too because I woke up with a storm. I posted it. The
No
Mm.
storm here. The weather is here is fine, like in the
fine.
Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here you can
There's
hear
a
the thunder.
oh, whoa.
Shay, tell
No.
me about Jonesboro weather. Is it bad too?
It is.
Huh?
It's kinda. We had a storm a while ago,
Ah,
and it's drizzling outside the
okay.
Philippines.
I'm gonna be in Jonesboro on Tuesday, Shay. Mama's got an appointment there. Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, so tell me about what's going on with your clients. Do you have some clients attending right now today?
yes, they're supposed to be. Actually, they're here. Leia's here. Thomas is here. I just saw them popped up.
Okay. Um,
Are
so
we starting here in Arkansas now, hiring? Actually, we went yesterday at Nettleton, so we're supposed to have a meeting with the superintendent.
good. Nettleton. Who is the new superintendent there? Is it
So
the lady?
probably here in Jonesboro,
What's her name?
the high school. It's
Is
I
it
don't
Karen?
know. I forgot.
Is it Karen somebody?
It's Nettleton High School. It's in high school.
Nettleton
The
High
one
School.
that I attended last time was elementary. It's a private school.
Ah, okay. Because the Nettleton superintendent should be Karen. Was it Karen? Anyway, one of she knows me, unless she
Mhm.
retired. She and I
I
used to work at ASU together as professors. I mean, as
Good
instructors. Good
morning.
morning.
Hello, Abu Lela.
Hi, Shay.
Yes.
So do you have any visa information or updates that everyone needs to know about J1 or
Ah,
other visas?
it's still we're still struggling about H1B. So I'm suggesting an O1 visa for those who met the criteria. So it's easy for them to shift because probably we will this year the J1 will no longer have their 5 years stay instead of 3 years. That's the ruling. I
It,
hope they
they
won't.
changed it from 5 years to 3 years?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
it will.
That's
So
not good.
it's an ad hoc. It's because of the administration, hopefully.
What, yeah, hopefully that would
But
change.
that would be nice as well. Then you can go back home and then reapply.
Yeah, I guess you can do it. It's a 3-2 instead of a 5-2
Yeah,
process.
you will
Yeah.
not notice it.
But 5 years is better than 3, though. They can save up some more money. But I guess when is that gonna happen? When is the effective date on?
Supposedly, it was proposed last year.
Uh-huh. Did it get
Yeah,
approved?
around July.
Right.
Hopefully it won't get approved.
It won't. Okay. Well, hope not. So anyway, you have any O1? Tell us about O1. What do they have to have? You get stuck. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's me
You
or
still doesn't have audio, Doc.
I don't or she doesn't.
He doesn't, Doc.
Okay, so maybe she'll come right back in. Um, okay, well, tell me when she's back and we will continue. Michelle, Shay,
Yeah.
when you come back, let me know because we can't hear you right now.
Doc, Mamirna is here.
Okay, Myrna. Myrna, you're one of my speakers. Myrna, can you please share with folks and see the things that you can give them? This is your second year, Myrn?
Oh yeah, yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Miss Michelle.
Oh, love your
Ma'am
head.
Giselle, hi. Nice to see you again. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah. Myrna?
Yes, I.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and share whatever you want to share, Myrn.
Okay, so beautiful morning from the land of Arkansas. I'm Mirna. I'm under J1 visa and I've been here for almost 2 years. I'm here again. I'm one of the proud products of Miss Doc Marlena. So I'm a middle school science teacher here. And Doc, I am now into robotics too.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh. No,
I
you're
might
husband and wife now.
I might end up competing with Joel's team. And
Her husband,
I'm a science teacher, and I'm just happy that, by attending this session, I learned a lot. And I would agree with Miss Verity in that, when you really want to plunge yourself into teaching here in the USA, the first thing that you would have to do is to know your students. Because as the other day, Miss Curly, she hosted this Ella Nights, the LA Nights, and one of the declamation pieces delivered by the students is that she said, "You do not you just see my silence, but me you just see me quiet from the outside, but you do not know the storm inside."
that's right.
And that really touched me because, sometimes when we see these students who is noisy and loud, would say, "Hey, you stop doing it." But we really need to know what is this, and little bit students. And I'm happy that I also have that time to attend to watch basketball games of our students, their football games, and every day would say, "Oh, Missy, will you be here? Will you be watching our game?"
Mhm.
And
They love that. They love
these
that. That's
kids that, yes, ma'am. And now they are excited to see. I as much as I'm excited to see them because this is now the track and field season.
oh nice. Okay.
And they said that, "Miss T, we will keep you posted by our schedule." And I said, "Okay, I'll try to watch. If it is just, within the area, then I will watch." And then aside from that, I just realized that lots of my students are into arts and they're good in singing too, other than the academics. And
Right.
one thing I'm proud of, Marlene.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's
One
part
thing
of
I'm proud
knowing
of.
your students too, Myrna. That's part of learning
Yes, ma'am.
about
Yes,
them. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yes, ma'am. And then I'm just so happy that we just had our STEM night during the first semester, and I'm happy that the community was really so proud and happy to see our students really explaining in front of the teachers. They don't have their cue cards. They don't
Nice.
have their cue cards with them. It was really so spontaneous explaining about electromagnetism, about law of conservation, about chemistry and physics, about this stuff. It was so spontaneous that they said that it is a manifestation that the students really learn.
Yep. Yep.
Because when
I
we
agree.
were doing the project, because they have this a simple project in the classroom, but again, when it comes to exhibit, it has to be something big and something really that is worth means presentable. So when they did the project, they say, "Misty, what are we going to?" By the way, they used to call me Misty because they could hardly pronounce my name, Misty MC. So I
Uh-huh.
just allowed, "Misty, how
It
are we
should be
going to say?"
Dr. T though. It
No,
should be
no,
Dr.
no,
T.
no. Yeah, I just allowed them to say, "Okay, Misty," and then I told them, "I need that to tell you what. Just explain what you learned. How did we do it in the classroom?" And I was so happy, Doc Marlena, that slowly we are now establishing this, well-structured science class. It's not always perfect. Every day is a chance for me to improve as much as my students do. And aside from that, knowing the students, knowing also the parents. So I have this parent contact log, good or bad. I update them. And then the students say, "Oh, see, come on, you're mad at me, Miss T, and then you're going to call my auntie again." And then, so when we had a PTC, and the auntie said, "Hey, you don't know that Miss T just texted me that you've been doing well in class," because the students are not aware
Mhm.
that well, good or bad, I am updating their parents. And then the other day, um, I tried to contact the grandma assisting the student,
She's
and I
mistaken.
updated the grandma that his grandson is doing so well. And the following day, the student told me, "Misty, when you messaged my grandma, she gave me $200."
Oh my gosh. What a
Yes,
that's
yeah,
generous.
because yes, ma'am, because these students really jump from, how would I say it, he doesn't really show so much interest in science until one day he said, "It's okay, Miss, I can do it, I can do it." But on the side, I would have to move around. I would have to move, especially when they're using their gadgets.
Right. Well, hey, Myrna, you're doing amazing things at Lee County. I'm proud of you. It sounds like they have really grown, and I can't believe you're the power couple of science. You're both robotics coaches against each other from two different schools. Because her husband is from Brinkley. Lisa, do you know Myrna? Lisa, you know Myrna, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I Miss
Okay.
Lisa.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
husband is Joel Lisa. Lisa is my co-founder, my BFF here, and I told everyone that Between Lisa, Milet, and I, we have more than 100 years of experience. We feel old.
That just means we're old, Elena.
Yeah. Lisa, do you have any message for everyone? You have any message for everyone to share?
I don't know if we have any Barton friends on here this morning, but my granddaughter's team, Sloan Hendricks, beat Barton yesterday. And I just wanted to say it was a great game. It was well played. Those girls were well coached. And you know, I just was really pleased with the respect that the girls had for each other on the court.
Nice.
And so I really enjoyed getting to watch them play. And I saw a couple of people that I thought I knew across the way, but we were sitting all the way across the gym, so I didn't get to say hello. But anyway, it was a good day. It was a fun day. Squeaked by. We beat them only by 3 points, like
Wow.
right at the end. So it
Are
was
they
a
at the
tough
state
game.
now? Are they going to be at the state level now?
They're in the Final Four today.
Yes. Good luck. And
Yeah.
Leslie's going to be against Bowen today. They're going there today too, Leslie.
Oh, good. Maybe I'll see her then. I thought I saw her yesterday, but
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure if
her.
they were there yesterday. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
Good luck.
As far as everyone teaching here and everything, anywhere I have ever been in the schools here, I've never heard anything but good remarks and great reports about the effort and the dedication that the teachers have, and just kudos to all of you who are already here and working in the U.S. and put forth the effort that you do, because yes, it benefits our kids, and that's what it's all about. But it's also so rewarding. I mean, that's the reason I've stayed in this for all these years. Is just, I love the kids, and then there's nothing else you can do in life, I don't think, that gives you the rewards, that knowing that you've helped someone along the way, that you've, helped set them on a straight path, or guided them to a great career. There's nothing else you can do that's more rewarding than that. So I'm just so proud of all of you that are already here, and encourage those who are trying to get to the U.S. to teach. Please continue the process. It can be lengthy, it can be tedious, but I think you will thoroughly enjoy it and get so much from it. So please keep doing it.
Thank you, Lisa. Hey, we need to get together with the teachers and see you. I would love that.
Yes, me too. We wanted to do that at Curly's Ridge last summer. Maybe we could do that this year.
Yeah, let's formalize it better and maybe planning ahead. They're coming here to my house on spring break. So if you have time, come over. Yeah, a bunch of them are coming.
The cruise on spring break. We're going to Turks and Caicos for spring break.
I'm jealous. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. All right. So I will. When I know you're going to the game, good luck. And one of these days, I would like to attend one of your granddaughter's games. I would love that.
Well, if they win today, they'll be in Hot Springs on Thursday night.
Oh my God! Of course,
at the finals. Yeah, at the finals. So this will be her last game.
Well, let me know, okay? Let me know.
Okay. Yeah, she graduates. She graduates in May, so this will be
the last.
She's already been in tears several times.
Yeah, awesome. Well, what a proud grandma. So,
yes, of course. All 6 of them make me proud. I'm very proud of them.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, thank you again. Thank you again for being a partner here in Curriculum Partner and ITSA founder, because we have grown a lot. We have a lot of members now. Yeah. So I don't know if Mila's going to show up, but I texted both of you this morning. Yeah. So anyway, the next one would be first Saturday of April is our next one. It's going to be always the first Saturday of the month from now on.
Okay.
First Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well,
I just want to encourage everybody. Like I said, I want to encourage everybody who is working on applications. Give it your best, get through the process, and join us here in the U.S., especially in Arkansas. It's just been such a highlight of my career to get to know all these wonderful teachers from the Philippines, and especially the Brinkley teachers. I spent more time there than anywhere, but they are all near and dear to my heart, and I just really hope that the folks who are still striving to get here will just put forth their best effort and continue the process and get on over here. We need good teachers, especially in Arkansas.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all the teachers that have been here have done an excellent job. So you do have big shoes to fill, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that you'll be able to do that. So
Yeah.
please come on.
Well, Lisa, they love you too at Brinkley. They love you. So yeah. So I appreciate everything that you do. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I miss you and I'll see you soon. Okay. All
Bye.
right. Bye. Bye.
Doc
Okay.
Marlene,
Yes.
Doc, that's just an update. MJ and his team,
Mm-hmm.
together with Z and Maria, they are now on their way to. It's a 2.5 hour drive from the place. They will be competing for the quiz bowl.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Great.
Maria had texted me that. I don't remember if she mentioned where. You don't remember
Yeah.
where? She was
Yes.
saying
Yes.
something about
Yeah.
that. Let me
Mhm.
see. Maybe it was an email. But
Yeah.
yeah, Maria said we have a quiz bowl tournament Saturday.
Yes. Yes.
She didn't say where.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And Joel and I are just waiting for the result or the advisory from the organizer, because our respective teams, we have our entry for this team in Arkansas science project competition. So we just pray that we will qualify.
That's funny.
Whether we make it or not, at least we're able to, submit the entry of our students for the
And both of you
competition.
did that. Both of you did that. So it's gonna be Lake County versus Brinkley.
Yeah, yes, yes, ma'am, yes,
That's
ma'am.
funny. That's
Yes,
cute.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so
Thank you
glad that
again,
you all
ma'am.
are
Doc,
doing.
thank you so
Thank,
much, ma'am.
thank you, and thanks for sharing. You always do a good job of sharing and leading. You have a get together, anything there in your area? You always
None yet, Doc. We don't have any plans yet because everyone is busy for the state exam, preparing our students, going through the standards. But from time to time, we say, no, every Sunday we meet in
do you?
in Helena for celebrating the mass.
Uh-huh.
But of course, Girly and I are always together. We are really just, a wall away from each other.
Nice. Well, April 19th is my very last day of consulting. So after
Mm.
April 19th, I'm open to anything. That's why I'm asking because I would like to attend some of your
Oh
events.
yeah, yes, Doc. We will
Oh,
keep that. And then, by the way, by June 7 or June 9, our family will be going home to the Philippines for vacation.
hey, don't forget my dried fish.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
how long will you stay?
Just for a month and 2 days, a month and 2
You
days.
have to ask permission from the visa sponsor, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I did, and I just have to fill out the form. I already have informed the visa sponsor, and even if I'm not so sure yet if I will be renewed by the school, I already have asked permission from the superintendent, and he said for as long as you will be back before opening of classes, then that would be fine.
Yeah. I think they usually know though when you are like by April, they should tell you if you're going to be renewed, no? Most
Yes,
most schools most schools would already say
yes,
that on the
yes,
radio. Yeah.
yes.
So anyway, okay. Well, I don't think there'll be a reason not to renew you. You're doing amazing things there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks again. And MJ is doing well, right? Your son in MJ is doing well.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. They are now in the he's with Miss Maria and Zealand for the quiz bowl.
Nice. How do they do a good job? I mean, do they like are they winning a lot or is it the first?
Last time, I think they won third place in their level before. That's why they qualified for the regional level.
Proud of
He
them.
said it's a regional level now. So we're praying,
So
and
it's still
hopefully.
Z and Maria. Z and Maria
Yes,
are
yes,
coaching it. Yeah. I'm
yes,
proud of
Doc.
Maria too. That's awesome. That's
Yes,
leadership.
yes,
Yeah.
Doc. Yes, Doc.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of y'all. I feel like a proud mama when you do all these great things about your school. Yeah.
Just the other day, I do not know what comes into my mind that I just remembered how did I start in this group, how I was invited, and what was I doing when I first interviewed? Because during that time, I thought it was just an informal thing, and I think I remember I was running up the stairs during the,
You can
and
see
then Mike told.
my
Yes, ma'am.
what?
And then Mike told me, "Hey, I mean, be proper, be proper. This is not just an ordinary Zoom meeting." Because I wasn't oriented, and that's it. But really, time flies so fast.
Yeah. Well, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see every video.
Yeah,
So you can go back and see how you
yeah,
look like and how you sounded like and so on. From
yeah,
number
yeah,
1 to 113 is on there. So this
yeah.
is now number
You,
114.
Doc, see, I
Ah,
started my robotics class. I started
nice.
my robotics class the other day.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
I told my instructor, if others have zero level, I think I am in the negative level.
Yeah, but you have a
But
husband that's gonna coach you, right?
and then I said, I think maybe the reason why they sent me to this class is that they know that you're also a robotic expert.
Yep, he's a robotic expert, so you got somebody at home that could help you. Yeah.
Yes.
So they're a little ahead, and but you're learning, and your kids are gonna learn
Yes.
a lot about coding
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So much materials given to the school.
Yeah.
Lots of materials. And even for the science materials, look, Merlina, when I first came here, because I wasn't aware yet, so I would have to spend a little from my pocket
It's expensive.
buying the students to have a hands-on experience. It did, yeah. But when I went to this room, I got what's inside. Oh my goodness, so many materials to spend a single
To get
from
started.
my
Yeah.
pocket.
Right. Wow. Well,
Yes,
I know
yes.
Dina,
Those
Helena.
have been stuck.
Yeah. So Dina and Helena is also doing robotics, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes. She's also doing robotics. I think we have the same program, and from time to time, also, there is this collaboration between Joel, Dina, and among the three of us.
Nice, nice. I think that's very good that you're doing
Yes,
that. Yeah. Well, anyway, I miss you all so much. I didn't have any contact with
yes.
you guys in
Let's
this area this year, so yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, okay. Well, thanks again, Myrna. And I'm gonna go back with Shay. Thank you so much. Shay, are you back? Do I have a sound from you now? Shay,
I'm here.
yeah,
Can
Shay,
you
you're
hear
in the
me?
middle of explaining about O1 visa. How do you qualify for O1 visa? What are the things that they need to have?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you.
So for O1 visa, they just need to have a job offer from school district or a principal, and then we can discuss with the principal if he's qualified or they're qualified. If they met the criteria for O1, then that would be the best visa for them to come here. They don't need to worry about going back home because of 212 rule. Just
Hmm.
that.
Because the O1 is for those with master's degree and above.
Not
Okay.
exactly. As long as you have at least 5 years experience and you met at least 3 out of 10 criteria,
Okay, so
like
tell me
you
some
have
of
a
those criteria.
national awards, when you have national awards, when you won a national awards, or even a local awards, we can do that. We can showcase you for the O1. It takes only 2 to 3 months to get here,
Yeah.
and
But that
yeah,
means
you
they've
have
been really active,
yeah
right? They've been active at writing
you
journals
you
and
held you held a significant roles during your teaching career, like you
leadership.
you had yeah you handled coordinatorship, you've
Uh-huh.
been a trainer, you've been a coach, and
Uh-huh.
then you brought your kids in from regional. Once you qualified for regional, that's considered a national award.
Okay. See, there you go. And a bunch of our teachers have those. So
Exactly.
if you have to
Yeah.
have, yeah, three things. So
You
this is
publish you publish your books, or you have been featured in articles, or you had submitted articles. You
yeah,
have been you've
yeah,
been head teacher. That's a
that's
that's
an
a
honor
high
too.
one of the criteria.
Yeah,
Number seven.
and for those, I don't know how it is in the Philippines, but I know here in Arkansas, if you're doing anything like big projects or whatever in your classroom, you can actually contact the newspaper office and ask them if there's anybody
Mhm.
interested in this article. And then what I've done before, I would invite them, and I even offered to like give them some details about it that they can use if they want. So I'm actually giving like little notes and stuff for the writer to write, and a lot of time they include what I put.
In as much as possible, if you can share an article in newspaper, local newspaper, national. Actually, I coordinated with the Manila Times,
Hmm.
so they charge a lot, 1,000 for an article, or you being featured.
Yeah.
It costs
Well,
$1,000.
yeah, but it's what dollars or
Yeah,
pesos?
but
Dollars?
dollar.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
50,000 pesos
it's
something.
expensive.
So that's one of the most appreciated thumbs up when you have your consular interview in the embassy.
You're featured, okay. But I
You
didn't
are.
know you can
You
pay for
will
those,
be
but
featured, or you're the one who send your article, or
yeah,
you featured someone. As
yeah,
long as it's in your name or you were mentioned in that
yeah. And you
article,
highlight it, yeah.
or video interview
That's good
with the
too.
local community. It's good.
Yeah. Okay, well, good to know for the O1 visa. How long is the O1 visa? How long are they approved?
2 to 3 months you will be
For
here.
here. But for
Yeah.
how long is the visa though? How long is it? 5-year visa?
Three
3 years.
3 years. It's renewable.
Okay. And
You don't
is there a
need. You
limit?
don't need. You know. You don't need to worry about um going back home for 2212E. And also with that, you can switch to other visa, which is the green card.
Okay. Well,
Because
so those
once you qualified for O1,
one.
definitely you are qualified for the EV1,
Okay. Yeah.
because it's almost the same criteria.
Right.
O1 just had 7 criteria, while EV1 has 10. So once you're qualified to O1, definitely
And do the
you can use the same materials you have submitted for the EV1. So
okay.
it's kind of costly, but then we have these payment plans for you to be,
How much is it, Shay?
for the whole package is around 15,000.
Ooh, that's a lot of money, Shay. How much do they have to come up
Compared
with?
compared to other agency, they charge around 30K.
Are you serious? You
Yes.
can't afford that
And
then.
they don't allow you to down for a down payment of around 80%, something like that.
80% down payment?
Out of 30K.
No, for you, for
If
y'all.
we
How much do
only
they have
we
to come up
accept
with? How
we
much do they have
accept
to
two
come up with?
thousand to five
How,
thousand down payment, and
how
then the
much?
rest. In our case,
Uh-huh.
it's around 15. That includes everything. We showcase you. You just feed us with your materials, with your evidences, with your everything, and then we will do the showcasing.
But the does that include the plane ticket? The 15?
No,
No, just the
it's
visa.
just legal services and the visas, the fees, the
Expensive.
government fees.
Yeah. It sounds expensive. But anyway, um
It's a real deal.
5,000, one
Because,
third.
yeah, once you qualified for O1, definitely. But if you can wait, you can go directly for green card. That's EB1A. But if you can wait for 2 years to
It takes
get
2 years.
approved,
So
because
OB,
that's the time frame for green card to get approved.
so O1 visa is actually the fastest then to
The
you.
fastest
Yeah,
to
but
get
they have to have at least $5,000 to start. And then
to
after
start.
that you do a regular
Around 200 something.
payment
And
plan.
then, yeah, you just need to have. It's like O1 visa is like an H1B, but you are not limited to teaching.
Yeah.
And like when you are on H1B and you have been sponsored by an employer, you are, oh my God, you are limited to teaching alone. And once the employer won't extend you for another year, then you have to go back home,
Mm.
or try to look for another sponsor, or you sponsor yourself, try to look for agency to sponsor yourself. It's
No.
fine.
So
It's still
who's the
costly.
sponsor on O1 visa? Who's the
An
sponsor?
O1 visa, it's up to you if you want to sponsor yourself, or we can sponsor you. If
Well,
the school won't sponsor, then we can do that, or you can do that for yourself. You
right.
just have to pay our petitioning. I'm the one who petitioned for the O1 visa with my Liberty consultancy company. So Anayas Way will process everything for the
Okay.
immigration
So they
paper.
come up with about 200,000 pesos. Is that what it will be
For
around?
that, something
Yeah.
like that, for the deport, for the deposit down payment.
Yeah.
Then
Um,
everything goes 500 every month until they get here. They can pay it through when they get here. The rest every
yeah.
month.
It's but that's good that you have a monthly plan, but that might be
Yeah,
so hard to for some
exactly.
folks to come up with,
Because
with the money.
some agencies won't allow. They don't do such.
Yeah, they don't have a payment plan.
Yeah.
That's still kind of a lot though. I mean, to me, when I was still living in the Philippines,
But if
for
you
the
want a real deal coming here,
yeah,
it's
but
still
I
the
know it's
same,
not
because
free.
when you go for J1, you still have to spend around 10,000 or more, and you're on J1.
No, not if you do it yourself. You don't spend 10. They spend
Still,
about
we even I applied directly for through my visa sponsor, but I spent more than 700 with everything.
yeah. So you were with folks that charge a lot, sounds like. Yeah. But anyway,
Even
that's the thing.
I applied directly from the visa sponsor. Still, you have to spend. There's no free this time.
No, there's DIY, but anyway, but I think having you all as guide is good. The problem with not knowing like folks like you is that there's some fake ones out there that will just take your money and
Yeah,
do
yeah,
anything. So
that's the
that's the
problem.
nice thing is that I know that you're authentic and that that's gonna happen, but you just
You've been to our office.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, but that's I'm really I will really wish that it was lower than that it will be more affordable for folks because
That that's
now
that cannot be because that's especially now all the USIS had raised their prices for the legal fees. I mean for the government fees, so we cannot.
mm,
So we also charge the lawyers also charge. Actually, yesterday, one of our lawyer came to our office and he spent 2 days in our office. And good thing we have this removal for our clients. So he was there staying. Oh my God, this office is so busy all the time. Yes, we are
yeah,
very
are
busy.
busy. You have lots of people there, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, well, good luck on that. And for those that are interested in contacting Shay, her email is
Yeah.
michelle.e@anayasway.org. And
Yeah. There's a problem with my email. It seems that yeah, you are bounced back that it seems that it says that you don't receive or I haven't received your email, but I did. Or you can contact me on my website, the Liberty Consultancy Inc. Everything is there posted. So any updates,
so Liberty Consultancy that Inc.
Liberty Consultancy Inc.com. It's a
Inc.com.
website.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good for people to know that they just search for that and read everything. Can
Yeah.
they like
Love.
contact you directly from there, you say?
Yeah.
And the
We
requirements are
can
there? I've not
the
visited it.
requirements will be sent by my staff.
Okay. Sounds good.
What are the things that we need?
Yeah, I visited their office in Jonesboro. That's about 2 hours from here. And I'm gonna
Exactly. I
yeah,
didn't
Tuesday.
realize it got that far.
Well, you have 2 hours. That's not bad. So you'll have to come over here and see me sometimes. I
By
know.
the way, were you able to get a medical for Zara?
Well, she's still
They're
working.
having hard time. Yeah, one of our clients from Forest City, they're having hard time to get an appointment in your area. So, were you able to have it in
Well,
Paragould?
she's waiting on her contact from the Philippines, also on vacation. So when that contact is back in at work, she's gonna do it. But she had called them already twice, I think. So anyway, I'll follow up on it and see because she's actually waiting for 360 first, though.
360
Yeah,
approval.
yeah. So I-360. But anyway,
Still,
yeah. So you said you have clients here that are attending. Who are they? I want to talk.
yeah, they're here. We have Aurora, Thomas,
Okay, I want to hear
Abu,
that.
Bulela is here,
Okay, Shay, I'm
Lynn,
gonna let you call them for introduction. I want to hear them. I want to copy their
Abulela.
introduction.
Can we hear you?
Yeah,
Can we hear from
introduce
you?
yourself.
Sitelo?
We're gonna practice
Yes,
interview. We're gonna practice interviewing. I was a former principal.
Yes, this will be
Yeah.
your opportunity.
I will practice with you. I'll ask you a question and I will comment on your answers. So how to improve
No,
it.
Abu,
Okay, go ahead and
yes,
call
I'm
number
here.
one. Who's number one, Shay? Call number one.
Abulela, Sitelo. Mr.
Yes,
Sitelo
I'll
is
go first.
from Africa and he's in Thailand right now.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself. We had a little talk a while ago, but go ahead and
Yeah.
introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Share
Okay.
your
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Bulela Stelo. I'm from South Africa. In terms of my educational and professional background, I worked at schools in South Africa for 2 years after I finished my graduation. I graduated back in 2020. And then I did work for another company in Saudi Arabia. And then at some point, I decided to explore the world, to travel to Thailand. So, and the year before last year, I traveled to Thailand. I decided to come this side and teach English and arts. I'm an English and arts teacher at elementary school. So I also have other extramural activities such as coaching volleyball. I coach debate. I am involved in other activities that are related to education, but not only classroom activities. Since back in high school, I was a debater, and also at university, I was a debater. So I've always been involved in public speaking. So thank you so much.
Okay. Great job on that. I can tell, I can feel your confidence. I wish you had your camera on so I could see your face.
Abu, do we want to see your face?
Yeah. But anyway, when you do about your degree, you might want to mention what type of degree it was. Like you said, your experience is elementary. I was really hoping you'd tell me what your degree was because there has to be an alignment of your experience and your degree. So in America, it's very important that you have, if you're an elementary teacher, you have to have an elementary degree. Like in some countries, like the Philippines, some high school teachers are teaching elementary and vice versa. So that's Shay, is that something you check also? The alignment? Yeah.
Alignment, it should be aligned with your experience with your degree.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That's
degree is
right.
called Bachelor of Arts. Bachelor of Arts. It's called Bachelor of Arts. My
Okay.
degree.
Bachelor
Yeah.
of
Bachelor of Arts in elementary or is it in high
Things
school?
sound like a generalist though. Sound general.
Yes, PA General.
General. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
General degree.
yeah, I don't know how that works, but I just know that they I guess that's a question for the visa sponsor if that is something that would be called an alignment or not for the BA if it's an just a BA general.
Actually, if the school would allow, would accept, it's okay. And visa sponsor cannot do
Okay.
something.
Then I think the best shot for him would be a private school because public school here would be stricter
Exactly.
because they will, yeah. So I would recommend that you try private school more than public here because public will have issues with it. I know because I was a district level and a building level and we were very strict about looking at the transcript and FCE to make sure that they match, and that would be an issue there for public. But private would not have an issue with it at all. So I would recommend doing that. And also, when you introduce yourself, make sure you put what your teaching philosophy was and maybe why you want to come and teach here. Those are the two important things you want to do. I love that you said something about what you are coaching, the debate. And did you say volleyball? Yeah, debate and volleyball, those are really good things because especially in private schools because they're really big on extracurricular too. And if you are applying for private school, in all probability, they might be faith-based. So if they're faith-based, you want to specify about your volunteer work because they're really heavy on community and volunteer work in private schools. I know that because I'm one of the leaders of accreditation visits when we visit to accredit schools, private schools, and that's something big that they always focus on. They even require that of their students and teachers to have. So that's something that you want to also mention if you have anything, is your volunteer work anywhere. Okay? So that's just my advice there, and show your passion. Like if I have to describe myself in three different ways, I would say I'm caring, I'm passionate about good. You say something about yourself personally, about what kind of teacher you are. As a principal, I'll be interested in that. What kind of teacher I'm getting here. Like keywords like growth mindset. I'm a person that's growth mindset. I believe in the power of yet. That I continue to grow. I may not be there yet, but I'll get there. Same thing as when I teach my students, I don't expect them to be perfect, but they're growing and they're open to new learning and so on. And just as as a teacher, I'm a learner too. Those kind of things you want to express that you have growth mindset. I look for that when I was interviewing folks. And what else? They also want to know if you can get along with others. So if you are, what kind of
Collaboration.
collaborator are you? I really enjoy collaborating with my colleagues and parents and community. Those things are really good keywords to use when you are explaining about you, because those are some things we're concerned about, because we've had some folks that do not get along with each other. And so if you have a person with growth mindset and that is a collaborator, and you can say something about you are a good reflector. I reflect, always reflect on how more can I help my students at the end of the day, or I even write down, how to improve a lesson in my lesson plan, so that when I look at it next year, I would improve it. Or if it worked, did not work, which area, why, so you always do the root cause analysis of why something did not work. So you're good at reflecting, so a teacher that would say that, I would love, I would have plus 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 I would put stars all over my notes when I'm listening to those interviews.
Mhm.
So are you ready for an interview question, Shay? Do you want me to ask him one?
Yes, we have. And
All
then
right.
next, Thomas, Sir Thomas, you will be the next. Sir Thomas is in Canada right now.
Okay, but the first one here, do you want me to ask you a question, or you want me to go on to the next person?
Abulela.
Are you ready for a question, or
Um, for the questions, yes, I think I'm ready for the question.
are you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
we're
good.
good. Okay. So, what will you do if you have a struggling learner in your classroom? What are the steps that you would do in order to help that student? Struggling learner.
uh,
Strategy
struggling
for
learner.
that.
Yeah, having a
Well, in my classroom, I believe in differentiation methods that students have different learning abilities. So I use different teaching approach. So I like to cater for each individual students. I do check around, move around, and see which student that is struggling with the concept and which one that is able to grasp a concept and then explain it. Um, if the student seems to be struggling, I do pay more attention on them as well to make sure that I cater for everyone in my classroom. But I had those moments where I had to consider each and every student in my classroom.
Okay. That answer would be between a 3 or a 4 out of 5, because to get it into a 5, you need to say a specific. So, for example, I had a student, John, and he struggled in this area when we were studying on this topic, and this is what I did specifically. And that's going to get you there to the 5. Okay. So, always start
Okay.
like you did general, but then go down to specific. Okay, you
Specify.
address it
Okay.
through, yeah, you address it through the word differentiation. I love that part, by the way. And you can
And
even
then
mention,
also
yeah,
add outcomes,
yeah,
after you did that
right,
strategy,
right. So yeah,
the impact.
yep. The student impact is always good. So it shows your action, your strategy that you use, and then you used it, and then the result. So the impact, the result, and then as a result of it, did the child get better? So you kind of, it's almost like a telling of a story. So you really have this story that you're telling, and then that story is not going to be there if you have a general question, a general answer. Okay, so make it specific. I always say my favorite saying is specific is terrific. Okay, so make it
Yeah.
specific. It's terrific. Any answer, any question you're being asked, answer it like you did. Give them the strategy, how you do it in your classroom, perfect. But then give it to specific. Okay, always get down to specific. Even if you didn't have one, make up one. I have a student, whatever, from a few
Exactly.
years back. It must be
A
a story
show
to be
off.
read. Yeah, make it your own. But the
Exactly.
point is not because you had a student. The point is what you did. You
What you
know
did.
what, if you're successful. But great answer, no, you're just like what, maybe 89 or 90. So it's not bad. It's not
Yeah,
100 yet, but yeah.
naman.
No, I didn't mean to
It's
grade
just
you.
one of the questions though.
Yeah, it's
There's
a very
more.
common question about struggling learners. A lot of times you want to know, not just that about the student, but you also need to know, you need to touch all 5 things, okay? These are the core propositions of National Board. You need to touch about what you know about student, knowledge of student. So you want to know about my student. I observe them, like you said, and then I know about their learning style, their kinesthetic, auditory, whatever. I know this child knows about, learns more about if it's hands-on learning. So this is what I did. And then knowledge of content, which is a strategy that you used. So you have to mention the strategy you used. And then your assessment. How did you assess? How did you know this? Through your observation, you said. But you could also include any written things that you observed. Did you do a KWL? What did you do? Anticipation chart. What did you do in order to know that the student is here? Okay, so your assessment. So knowledge of student, knowledge of content, assessment, and the last two are matching, reflection, and collaboration. Okay, so you're going to reflect. I reflected that this child, struggled with this, and then so I collaborated with the mother, whatever, parent, and also I contacted the teacher from last year. If this is a student that's a special ed or whatever, I also talked with a special ed teacher, and then all that, and so and then you say the result at the end. Okay,
With that question alone, and you brought everything.
yeah. So you
That's
put
the
in
end of your interview. You're hard.
That's right. You put in your
One
five
question,
things.
and
You
you
yeah,
put all together
yeah,
that needed the things that they need to hear.
yeah.
Okay,
The
then
five
you're
core national
hired.
board. Yeah, those five core national board is
Yeah,
something that
exactly.
everyone need to remember. Check, 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 check. That's like your little checklist in your head. Now, like,
Because
what do
we
I
have
know?
our what's this? What do you call this? Our checklist.
Yeah.
So okay.
Memorize it. Knowledge of student, knowledge of content, assessment, and then the last two match, reflection, collaboration. So you can, I think most of those that are regulars here, like Giselle, they have it memorized. So if you answer your question, always having those five things
Yes,
in
five.
mind, yeah, and you will be okay. Your question, your answer should be very detailed that way. But the other key is that you make it your own, a story about your child in your classroom. Okay? All right,
Exactly.
so that's cool because in all probability, we always have a rubric, in our interviews. The rubric will have those pieces in it. So if you did not include them, you're gonna have zero on those columns. So include those
You
five.
you're very brief and answering. No.
Hmm? Yeah.
One.
So do you think that would okay, well, on the next person, we're gonna ask another question and see if they could use the five things. Who's
Okay,
the next?
yeah. Let's try Sir Thomas. Sir Thomas. Sir Thomas Jr. Sir, are you here?
Is that Gingab? How do you say that?
Gingab.
Gingab? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
Hello,
getting
sir.
up.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning,
What time
ma'am.
is
Good
it
morning,
there?
everyone.
Okay, Thomas.
What time is it?
It's 5 minutes to 7, ma'am.
Oh,
7 p.m. morning.
Morning, ma'am. Morning.
All right,
You are
morning.
2 hours ahead in
Ayo,
Canada.
sorry,
Oh,
woke
you
up early.
Canada. Okay. Too early for you.
Yeah, I waited at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow, see?
Okay. So Thomas, do you mind
Good
introducing
morning.
yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Make it as
Uh,
if you are in a principal interview right
Right.
now.
And turn on your
Feel
yes,
camera
it.
if you can.
Embrace it, sir.
Yeah, we want to see
yes,
your
ma'am.
face, guys.
Yeah, ma'am. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Bergman Michelle. I'm Thomas P. Gingab Jr. from Philippines, and I've been teaching in the Philippines for 21 years. And I took a bachelor in secondary education, major in social studies, and I also finished my master's degree, major in educational management. And to further elevate my studies and expertise, I went in Canada way back 2023 to enroll early childhood education. And I now a certified early childhood education wherein I finished ECE basic, infant toddler education, and special needs education. And with this, being an educator, I very much do accept positive criticisms to my school heads and to other subordinates. And of course, I'm also a very teacher who really love learning, and I do accept different uh, work that is given to me at the different tasks. I'm also a very collaborative teacher, And those passive criticisms that would the school head will give me, and I'm also a reflector of it. And I'm always focused on my profession, particularly since my practice in education is inclusivity. And of course, I have also different strength in holding those students that I have, and I need to focus particularly who are my students, what are my students specifically, and of course, I'm also a very directive teacher, wherein I want my learners to learn much from me through guided principles, where in fact I also use two differentiated learning materials in order for me that these students who has a very hard time, or I mean students who have difficulty, like what I am doing way back in our country, that I am using not only one strategy, because in our country and even in Canada, we are practicing inclusivity, wherein these students sometimes are not equal, meaning some students are getting hard up to catch those learnings that I am teaching to them. That's the reason why I keep on doing different processes in order for me to find out what are the most needs of these students that I have. And after that, I need to learn the results that would that the outcome of those processes and studies that I made. And after that, I will make what you call a summary of learning. And of course, I need to tell this one to my fellow teachers in order for them to help me on how to cope up with these needs of these children. That's all, ma'am.
Okay. Did you write the script or are you just talking extemporaneously? Are you just
I'm
talking?
I'm talking extemporaneously, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. I would like for you to what you said, and this is recorded. I want you to type it on Chat GPT and make it
No, ma'am.
no,
I'm
I
sorry.
want you to make it more concise and more formal
Yes,
because you're doing it very extemporaneously. It sounded like kind of not together. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but it just that it sounds like you're all over the place. So I think if you kind of group it or somehow categorize it, that might be better instead of like all over the place. Okay. So
yes, ma'am.
for example, if you're going to talk about education, for example, you start with your introduction about yourself and your education. And then the next chunk would be about your teaching philosophy, what you believe about teaching and so on. And then the next category would be a different one. I would rather have you do that and it's much more organized. Okay. Because it sounds
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, it sounds like you've got some really good things in there, some
Yeah.
really good key terms, but just put it together better. What do you think, Shay? Like organize it better.
Yeah. We
What do
can
you
help
think,
you
Shay?
with that.
You
That's
will
why
help.
we have this webinar
Yeah,
for you. This is a positive critic.
yeah, and
You have
it's
to
always
yeah,
coming
you have
from
to raise this because this will be more challenging when you are in the principal
right, and
interview.
the actual one. And
So
I was. I mean,
don't take it
yeah, don't ever
negatively.
do that. It's always
Don't
coming from
on that.
the right,
It's,
positive heart here that I'm always rooting for you. I'm retired from the US. I got my education from the US, okay, 10 years of it, 4 degrees. So I was an administrator in the US. So I have been in the shoes where I was listening to applicants, several of them, years of it. So I kind of, I would like to see organization. It's always nice to see that. And I could hear your passion though. I could
yeah.
hear that you really are into education, and that is a big plus for you already. Okay? And so that's very simple fix. If you can get it organized where for my teaching philosophy, and these are what I believe, and then you go to the next section, okay? Instead of just like different lots of topics. Okay? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Pacing
ma'am.
and
Yes, ma'am. Yes, doc.
timing.
Understand? Yeah.
Exactly. The term is pacing and timing. When are you going to inject this conversation, or I mean this statement, and then
Organize your thoughts.
organize it, and then try to observe the panelists if there were
Yeah. What kind of reaction are they doing? Like the
reaction.
faces look like, because they will, you can see people that are like nodding, or some people like frowning and looking down, like, I always like look at that and say, okay, maybe I'm talking too much already, or maybe I'm not, I
Yeah,
need to organize this, I need to quit, or
change the
yeah,
atmosphere.
read the room is what it is, and read the expressions and make it funny. I mean, if you kind of joke about it, like, um, that goes a long, long way, because if you relax, if you start with a joke, with a quote or whatever about education, for example, everybody laughs and everybody relaxes. Like in the Philippines, the one of the ladies that were attending here, I think was it Giselle or somebody, was sharing about Giselle, I think it was you, that was sharing about your trip to the mountains to teach these kids or whatever. And then they really were like so curious about that, because they don't have that in the US. We don't go to mountains and teach these kids. Was it you, Giselle, or one of your cousins?
It's not me, Doc. I think
That you?
it's
Was it?
somebody else.
This one is somebody in your area, though. I think Leslie or somebody. But anyway, but that really got their attention, because because that's something new, something different. But like sharing something from the Philippines that is not gonna it's not happening in Canada, but something unique about the Philippines. I think that will be good, because you will get them curious. I can start with the hook, you know but anyhow, just I don't know, trying to see if to improve it. But otherwise, you can, you're confident, which is good. And I think I can see that if you are able to do that extemporaneously, you got enough, knowledge of the language, that you're not running out of English. So no nosebleed here. So that's a big thing going for you. So I want to encourage you to continue to practice, okay? So write down your script, and there are some app now that you can get, that would actually be printing it on the screen, so you can be looking like you're reading, but you're really just talking because of the pace, and you're looking at the camera. You can do that if you don't want to memorize a bunch of things. Find a free app about that, and then just organize it. If you can use Chat GPT to organize it, you can say organize this, write everything that you said, and then say organize this in categories, and then that way it will put everything in categories, and you make it much more improved, I think. What do you think,
Thank
Shay?
you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the best. You just have to, test the water first, and then observe.
Yeah, and listen, and have
Listen.
somebody listen to you, right? A family member, a friend, or even in the mirror. I practice in the mirror and see your face. Like you have to, if you talk with a smile, it's gonna be really good. And I think you did, right? But that's why we didn't see your face whenever you were talking about it. But you sound like your voice was happy. So that's a good thing. And when you say Philippines, don't just say Philippines, say the Philippines. You always put a the when you say about the Philippines, okay? And
Noted, ma'am.
pay attention to your to and from. Like you say, accept discipline or accept critiques. You said accept critiques to colleague or to supervisor. You need to say from. Okay, critiques from. Okay, so little things like that. That's a very common errors for us. We're not native English speakers, so we get our prepositions confused a lot. We get some of our plurals that you said strength instead of strengths. So little things like that, they will notice those. But so that's why writing them and really kind of having a little script for you would help you go a long, long way. Okay. So, while extemporaneous is good for answering questions that I'm about to ask you, the introduction itself need to be formalized. Okay. Because that's the first impression of you. Because the first,
Noted, ma'am.
yeah, The first question is, tell us about yourself. See, how the interview goes is that there will be a panel. Sometimes it might just be a panel of 1 or 2 people, and they will introduce themselves first. So pay attention to who they are. Write down notes, like if that's a principal, what the name of it is, of that person is. And then the next one is assistant principal. What's the name of that person? Okay, because maybe a district person, because your answer would depend on who what the role is. So if a superintendent is there, superintendent is the head of the district, your answer will have to be district thinking, district level. But if it's about the principal, they're thinking about the building. Okay, so that's why if it's a curriculum person, their question is going to be about strategies.
Strategies.
So you tailor your answer to the role of those folks because they are going to be looking for those. Okay, are you ready for that question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Noted, ma'am.
what do you do if you have an angry parent? Because
How do
the
you deal
child,
with the
how
parent?
do you handle angry parents?
Actually, I already experienced that way back in the Philippines and in Canada. They
Okay,
usually complain regarding the behavior of the result of the grades of their children. And I asked the teacher, I asked a parent to talk privately, and
good.
we gonna settle the problem. And if that parent gonna ask me the actual result of the grade. This is my real experience in the Philippines, wherein there was a rule in the Philippines that we will not show our class records instead of, but actually I will tell the parents to calm herself, and if this will not be resolved between the two of us, I will ask her really. This is my real experience, and we talk to the guidance office in order for us to settle this problem that I encountered with this parent. And of course, we need we I talk and have an agreement between these parents. When we have our talk with him or her through the guidance counselor, and with this will be resolved. There was another agreement that we signed up. And here in Canada, I also experienced that when her child is so very, you know, not serious in our circle time, and I keep on messaging here regarding the behavior of her child, and now she really cannot accept all those messages, and she went to me, and he talked, and she's really angry with me. And of course, I talk calmly to this mother, and I explain the real thing that was happening during our circle time. And that's the time she accept my explanation, and she accepted also calmly. And that's the reason why we are now in good terms at this time.
Very good. The last part of your answer was better than the first part because you actually told the story. You might want to do as you could have also invited her. Like I invite you to come and watch during circle time. You could also have done that. But I think the point was you acknowledge it. You talk to that parent respectfully. I would also say like if a parent is really angry, I would invite them to come sit with you and then take notes while they were saying that in bullets. And then before you answer anything, you read back your notes to them and say, this is what I've heard you said. This is what I heard you say. And then you point 1, 2, 3, these are the things. Is this all? Did I miss anything? And so then you start to, you talk about it piece by piece and seeing, what they are concerned about. You can read from what they will say what outcome they really want from you. And it sounds like from your last part of your answer that the parent got what they want from you. You know how to solve it. But I would remind the parents that you have to remember we are partners in education. Both of us are partners on here. So I really value your input. if there's anything else that I can do here that to help further help your child, I would want to do it. At the same token, I hope that, yeah, we can work together. If anything that you can do at home also to help us out, that would be so welcome. Something like that. And so the parents just really want to be listened to. And you can say that is that they just want to be listened to, and I'm here as a teacher to listen to the parent because after all, we are partners in education. So that's the kind of answer you did, and you did that on the first part, on the last part, I mean. You did
Yes.
more of it in the last part. What do you think, Shay?
You have in answering that such question, you need to be direct. You don't have to, in everywhere. You have to state right away. Example, what you had experience, and then talk. How did you resolve the problem? Yeah, it's good that you talk to her privately and you talk to her calmly, but make sure you have to take note everything she said. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Then
So they know
throw
you
it
to
back
be
to
direct.
her.
Mhm.
Yeah, throw it back to her, and then have her reflect as well, and then you share your thoughts and how you are going to resolve this together with the parents and
Mhm.
help the child,
Yeah,
something like
and
that.
and to finish your answer, good, good. Yeah, I really like that, Shay. And to finish it up, you need to also say, I will always do a follow up later,
Mm,
and to find out if
mm,
it continues to be solved. If the
exactly.
problem did not, if the problem was actually solved or not, if we need to do more actions, I will always follow up with the parents. That's always a follow up, and follow through are always good for teachers to do, especially when you're
Exactly.
talking about angry parents. Okay, you want to fix that relationship. You don't want partners that are not getting along, the
Exactly.
parents and teachers. Yeah.
I guess Mom Michelle is one of my staff. Um, she's,
Hello,
I can say
Doctor.
she's the
Yeah,
queen
Dr.
of
McCullough.
interview.
Okay,
She is
Michelle.
Yeah.
very saleable
Hello,
in
Dr. Yeah.
all school districts that she applied. She is always being called for interview and
Nice.
hired. But it so happened that she is already in Philippines. She
Yeah,
need
Dr.
to spend the
McCullough, Mama
2-1-2 in
Shah.
the rule.
Yeah.
Can you give them tips how you were able how did you get interview every time you applied for a certain
Yeah.
school? I was
Yeah.
there all
Mm-hmm.
every school that she
Yeah.
applied, she is being called for interview. Give
Awesome.
us the tips, Ma Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Marlena. Yes. Nice meeting you.
Nice to
And
meet you.
also, yeah, and also the rest. So actually, I'm actually a former J1. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
turn on your
unluckily,
camera,
Dr.
Michelle. Michelle, do you have your camera
Hello.
on? Can you turn?
Mm-hmm.
Camera on, Ma Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay, there you are.
She's helping our clients now
Yeah.
Mhm.
doing the
Yeah. Hello,
application.
Dr. Marlene and the
Hello.
rest. Yes,
Hello.
actually, to tell you frankly, so I actually completed my J1 program year 2025 last year. But before I went home, actually, Dr. Marlena, I did my best and I want actually to stay. But unluckily, since my my program ended, so I had to rush and do the 212E because of the administration of Trump. But before I go home, I actually contacted Mom Michelle. Yeah, if there's something, what is this? Remedy in which I would like to stay because before actually, Dr. McCullough, before I did my home role, I actually, what is this, apply to other school. And luckily, I got hired in our IB school, and that is Divine College, somewhat in Oshala, yeah, Oshala County. And they actually did, what is this, offer me a salary, and they want to transition my J1 visa to H1B, right, Mom Michelle?
Yes,
But
exactly.
since I'm subjected to
Subject.
1-2, I cannot actually do that in transition of visa from J1 to H1B. So that's why I need to follow the rule because of the administration of Trump. So I have to go back home and follow the 212. So that anyway, I told Ma'am Michelle. So I have actually I Dr. Macalo, I did actually the tourist extension, but it's too late already to do my waiver. And Ma'am Michelle already know that I am actually qualified to EB2 NIW and also
EB1, O1.
EB1 and the O1 visa. Yeah, but since the time is actually constraints, so I have to go back now,
Family.
ma'am. Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to go
And
back.
Dr. Macalo, yeah, actually, you're actually one of my idol. Yeah,
Well,
and as we all know that our what is this? Our clients. So whatever actually the interview of yes, of course, Dr. Macalo is actually part of the Department of Education, as we heard in United States of America. So all of her what is this? All of her um, questions, whatever insights or whatever what is this knowledge in the interview is actually the same. And actually, Dr. Macalo, I actually you're my idol because as I've been actually part of the what is this a J1 applicants before, and I actually told to our clients that trust the process. So all you have to do is in terms of this interview, you have to answer direct to the point. Yeah, direct to the point, be consistent. So there is consistency and at the same time, uh, try now to analyze and answer the question what is being asked for you. Yeah. And I'm praying also, Dr. Macalo, that maybe next year I will be again returning J1 teacher too.
hey, I hope so.
Yeah, actually, Dr. Macalo, they are actually hiring me again in different part of state because when I went home, I actually reciprocate my what is this my license. Yeah, actually I came from Florida. Yeah, I reciprocate my license and I did in Nevada and also in New Mexico, and also in South Carolina too. And they are actually what is this encouraging me to apply. But since I have the 212E, I cannot.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I have
explain to folks what a 212E is. Some people are not familiar.
yeah. Actually, the 212 that is what we call of the home rule residency. So meaning to say, after your visa, right, or maybe you after you finish your program. So if you are subject to 212E, you have to comply on that before you again come back.
Yep.
But there are something actually if you want to stay more, right? So you have to undergo a waiver. So Dr. Macalo, yeah. So as we all know that waiver is actually nowadays is if your evidence is not strong, so you can actually time run, right?
Yep.
And out of status is very dangerous.
Yep.
That's why I did that because although I hired in that county, I cannot because I am subject to 212 because of my code. So I told them, I told Mamisha, I think the best way to do is to go back home and to render my 212E, which is the home rule residency. Then anyway, America is still there.
Yeah.
I guess I still have the chance to go back rather than to be out of status.
Yeah, if you're out of status, then you could be banned so many years. So you don't want to do
10
that.
years.
Yeah. How many?
Yes. 3 to 10 years.
Yeah, 3 to 10 years. But
Yeah.
it's a 2-year physical presence requirement. So that's what she's doing right now. This is your second year or first year of it? First year.
This is actually when I come back. This is my second year.
Oh, nice. Well, I hope to see you in person when you come back.
Yeah.
That would be
Thank
cool. You can
you.
come to Arkansas and see Michelle and me. So
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Dr.
yeah.
Valen.
And obviously you have done a very good job of answering questions if you get those interviews. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a very happy, outgoing, very positive thing
Very.
going there. And
Yeah, always. That's why I told them during the interview, Dr. Macalo, you have to be, you should be relaxed. Then don't be nervous, as it seems that you are talking with your students, right? There is actually the rapport between the interviewer and you. At the same time, be consistent. So they're always, as you said, always have the direct to the point when you are answering questions. That's it.
Yep, good job. Yeah. Did you attend our Zoom meeting in the past? Or is this your first time?
This is my first time, Dr.
First
Macalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you know about me then?
By Ma'am Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
So have you seen, check out our videos in YouTube. I have all the
Yeah.
videos.
And I also encounter you in the social media. Yeah. Do you know Ma'am Gemma Hello Team also?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean,
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Miss Gem Hello Team. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
I'll actually encounter you in social media too, Dr.
yeah,
McCullough.
yeah. I
Yeah.
have
And
more than
you're one of
11.
the best.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We have we have some. I think I look back at some of my videos because when I have administrators calling me, I would actually look at my notes and see what video numbers, what Zoom numbers that the people I am referring to. I can tell them where, where to check out Zoom number 110, for this person. You can see this person talking. So that's why for those that are attending, it's very important that you talk here because you're recorded. And so
Yeah.
you could see some administrators checking out our videos and already see you. Before they even interview you, they know you through
Yeah.
this context. So it's a good
And one thing more, Dr. McCullough, when I had my first interview is actually my first got the job offer.
nice.
First PI, first principal interview.
So you
Yeah.
are a natural. Sound like you're a natural girl.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
You got the gift. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Yeah, but
also, our clients also do that. I know they can make it because you are very brilliant and witty, Dr. McCullough.
thank you.
And thank you for having this opportunity for this webinar
Yeah.
to all, not only for us as a returning J1, but also for the new
Yeah.
J1 teachers
Coming.
too.
Yeah, and I love the angle of your camera there. I think you have the perfect angle. We could see the whole body. So with your actions there and so on. I love that. That's gonna be a plus. So something like that where they
Oh,
see
yeah.
your hands, how we talk with our hands. Do you know I talk with my hands so
The
much?
natural,
Yeah, natural,
They
yeah.
want the natural way,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Exactly.
I talk too much.
Being in
And
the
Dr.
classroom.
McCullough, when I had the first interview, I had the principal, the supervisor, the district, they are all five. And oh my God, for the 5 questions I had, it seems that it is actually, I don't know, it's actually, when I talk straight, it's actually continuous talking. Then after that, wow, I hired.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because you just feel like you visited with them. You're just visiting, if you have that kind of interview, it's so natural and you're just visiting back and forth,
Natural.
you're
Be
going to get that job.
enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very natural.
that's
It's
it.
not stiff. It's not stiff. It's not like, okay, question
And
one.
always a smile. Yeah.
Yeah. A smile goes a long, long way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm so proud
thank you
that
too.
you're part of Michelle's program there. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
thank
So,
you.
is there anybody else, Michelle, that you want us to practice? Ask.
I don't recognize the rest, but I have Aurora here. Mom Aurora. Have you, Mom
Yeah.
Aurora?
Yeah. You need to talk because we only have 35 more minutes left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, before, I think Aurora is not ready yet. So, regarding J1 program, this is a program. You have to put in mind that this is a program that you need to go back home.
Yep.
And then always, since this is a program, it's an exchange visitor program. So, whatever we have learned here in the United States, we should share that to our school.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, before we went we left the school, we are asked to resign.
Yep.
So this is the dilemma now of the J1 teachers, that the incoming, or I mean the one that almost to end the program.
Mm-hmm.
They're having hard time to get employed in the deaf ed because
Uh-huh.
the streams that sir Sapinas, ikaw si mom and sir, something like that. It's a stream program that's supposed to be helping teachers returning to teach in deaf ed or in the Philippines. But then if you're in J1, they don't accept you unless you're an OFW.
Huh.
So because J1 teachers are not OFW, they are under the program, so it's different. So
Wow.
you need to in our visa sponsorship, I don't restrict or I don't deprive our teachers if they have the ground for their waiver. But in other agency, in our other visa sponsor, they will not allow you to have a waiver if they find out.
Hmm.
That's the problem.
Huh.
Especially, and then you have to check if your visa sponsor is a government funded. So there's a district, school district somewhere in Virgin Island. It's the school itself. They hire J1 visa, and your code is not under the skills, but then they are a government funded. Then you are not and you are still subject to 212E. Even your code is not subject. See
Hmm.
how what's the difference? They are visa sponsor, yes, and they are a school district, but they are school funded. You are being funded by the school, so even your code is not under the school's list, still you are subject to 212E.
Okay.
That's
Well,
the
good.
problem that we had encounter with some of the clients. That's why we cannot cater them. So I don't suggest, especially me, since I'm the one who evaluating, assessing them. I don't suggest them to apply for the waiver, but rather, since you still have 2 more years, apply the 212E rules in the Philippines while you still have the resources to pay for the EB1 transition.
Hmm.
So on your 4th year, you start investing, apply for the EB1, EV2, or O1 visa if you want to extend. You still want to save money. You don't want to stay here for good, but you still need to extend your time. Then apply for O1 if you qualify. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Yeah. So there's hope for some that
Oh, of
want to do.
course. For those who are still subject for 212E and wants to extend because they want to save more money before going back home, then apply for the O1 visa if you qualify.
And
Get yourself
it's still gonna be
yes,
Michelle.e at anayasway.org. Is that still what they need to?
yes, ma'am. Yes. Or go to our website. It's easier for you to explore opportunities here. So that's the only thing that qualifies the J1 teachers if they are subject, the O1 visa. So if you have more than 5 to 10 years experience, probably you have at least you've met the 3 criteria among the 10 or 7, then you're good. We can help you. It's
Yep.
just that it's expensive when you apply inside the US compared to when you are outside. So because when you are in inside US applying for transitions, you are waiving the consular interview. So you need to pay for extra for that. That's the asylum fee. It
Hmm.
means you don't need to go back home for the interview. You can have it here. You don't need to get interview. It's just that you have to pay extra for that. That's the asylum fee and the petitioner fee. That's why it costs much. So I think it answers the amount of the fees that we regulate for the transition for a visa from J1 to other pathway.
What do how do they do that when they still live in the Philippines and they want to pay you? How do they do that? Do they do it through certain
Online. We have
online?
bank, yeah.
Ah, okay.
We have international. So you cannot do that unless, especially Stripe. So a certain company cannot be, you are not you are not a scammer if you have a Stripe because in applying such, a company should have an EIN, a tax
Mhm.
from IRS.
Right.
So
And do not pay
exactly.
until you have the job offer already, right?
Job offer. Yeah, we don't collect money unless they have job offer. That's
Job
why I
offer.
have the agreement. The 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 interview, principal interview starts from January till December. So you're still in our hand. So until you get the job offer, that's the time you can pay the initial payments for that, and then for the visa sponsor as well.
That
If
job
you
offer.
are under the
Yeah,
J1.
job offer is usually, pretty sure, but there's
Mhm.
sometimes where it would also fall through. But usually they don't just give job offers unless they really want to, hire you.
Hire you.
Yeah, that means that's the formal process of hiring you. So that's when you get serious about saving your money and make sure that you can already, process your papers. But yeah. So if for those that for the J1 visa, how much do they have to put down in order to get started with you with your visa sponsorship?
In since you are applying for, if we will be the one assisting you for job placement for certain school, we will give you the school. So most probably around 9,000, something like that. That includes everything: the visa sponsorship, assist you with your licensing, because visa sponsor directly, they don't assist you on licensing. They just give you the instructions, just that, okay, and you do it for yourself. So in our case, if you have all this, we less those. If you have already the FCE, we lessen those. So from the 9,000, it less down. It includes everything. The visa sponsorship is already there. Unlike the other agency, you'll spend around 16,000 and for the agency alone. Doesn't include the visa sponsor. That's
Anyway,
that
okay.
includes
Well,
everything: the mentoring and facilitating your applications with different district. So as of now, we have partners, but we save those for the teachers that's supposed to be ending their program, but they are in transition, because we have this from South Dakota and North Dakota. We help this school to acquire their BIE, to be able for them to qualify for BIE, and then they have these 7 teachers and the rest are have 10. So we applied for IGA for them. We applied first. We processed the BIE, the Bureau of Indian
affairs,
Education. So
education.
once your school, so because some of the school they didn't know that they are qualified, so we assess the school and then we suggest. So these are the requirements that you need to comply to be able to be qualified for a BIE. So the superintendent will submit all the requirements, as well as the J1 teachers. They will submit all their reports, and once they got all those things and then they got approved, then they will have an IGA waiver. So they don't need to go back home for that, because the school itself, they can help them. So it takes time. It takes time. It takes around 6 to 8 months to process such. So for those who are supposedly our teachers that we qualify for an ISWay, they supposed to be placed in that school. But then, since the superintendent suggested that we need these teachers that we have here, rather than a new teachers from your country. That's why
I
we
think that's easier.
prioritize. Yeah.
It's easier because they're already here.
Yes,
Easier.
exactly. It's easier for them, and they were already been tested. That's why we cannot place you in that certain school in that district. So that's why we're looking for partnership, just in case, though it probably takes time, but perfect timing is a good timing.
Yep.
So it's
Yes.
not too late. It's you. There's no need to rush coming here. As long as you still have your work in the Philippines or in wherever you are teaching right now, just take it as an experience. At the same time, patience is
Yep.
really crucial.
You got
And
it.
if it is really for you, it will come.
Yep. Yeah, if it's meant for you, for sure.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, anyway, okay, so that's good. Is there anybody else?
Mm-hmm. Here, who's Oliver? Sir Oliver.
Um, good evening. I'm sorry I'm late. Can you
Yeah,
hear
it's
me?
okay.
Yes, and turn on your camera, Oliver.
Um,
Where are you
I'm
from?
sorry. I'm from Manila. I'm from Quezon City.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently. I saw your ad. It was. I'm sorry if I can't turn off my camera. I can't turn on my camera.
It's okay.
I'm not decent. Let me
Okay.
just. I'd like to be more presentable when I do turn it on. A friend of mine referred you to me. Hey, ma, I'm done with my how I'm done with all my academic units for my masters in UP Diliman College of Education.
Okay.
I'm uh, I'm studying I'm how do you say this? Trying to renew my license to conduct educational therapy. I have a therapy center in Antipolo. It's called the Manila Reading Clinic. It's a center for learning disabilities and reading difficulty.
Oh,
I took my I took a learning disabilities course with NILD Norfolk, Virginia. The professor came here and certified us. I'm right now renewing my license because I stopped practicing for 8 years. I did the ministry work for my church.
hmm.
Uh, so I after 8 years of serving in the church, uh, we were we were let go, and so at 54, I'm trying to pick up the pieces. I'm trying to get back on my feet financially, and so I'm trying to renew my license to practice. But I want to be able to see if there's an opportunity for me to maybe also visit, try my luck somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
Visa wise, I
You're
think
not.
J1, they have to be teaching the current year, right?
Exactly. Mm.
Okay. So what
Uh,
visa would
I
they
don't
give?
I don't suggest J1 for you at this time, no, knowing about your case. There's another pathway, and then we can discuss that. Just go to I think I posted my link, so we can start the assessment, and then submit to me your updated resume, and then we can discuss and go over with that. I
Yep.
can suggest you.
Yep.
Actually, I have a partner agency from other, but they only hire if you're here in the U.S. So they are based in California and Florida, so and all over states. But actually, so they are hiring someone like you, educational therapy. So probably I can suggest a different pathway for you to get here, and then we can work on that.
Yeah. I think that would be good. That would be good if you can do that because that
A
sounds like
J1 is not
expertise.
advisor.
Yeah, that's your
I cannot
expertise.
advise a J1
Yeah.
for you.
There will be some centers and all that places that,
Yeah.
you'll be perfect for intervention, as an
Mhm.
interventionist because,
Uh,
yeah,
okay. All
that's,
right. I'm listening, ma'am.
yeah,
And
that's
the
what you
age
need
wise,
to
I'm
apply
sorry.
for interventionist because I think that would be, you'd have the perfect knowledge for it. So,
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to turn on my camera so you can. So huh? Camera so you can. You can get a. Oh, there you go. Oh,
there you are.
oh,
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, you'll
mm.
be as an interventionist, you'll be perfect for it because you've got that experience with the center that should help you, I think. Yeah.
all right. Thank you, ma'am. So I will get in touch with me, ma'am.
Yeah,
Michelle.
I just
Tay, ma'am.
posted the
Tay.
website for you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
michelle.e at anayasway.org also, if you need to.
All right.
Yeah.
Will
So,
do. I'll do that.
yeah. And we will post this. If you check out our YouTube, this whole video will be posted.
Mm.
So, later. So look us up. And
Yes.
anyway, yeah, I think you'll be awesome as an interventionist. I think the school, whoever, would be so lucky to have somebody with the knowledge you have from the center.
Mhm.
I think, I'm a literacy specialist, so, that's kind of, it's always nice to see folks that have the knowledge, especially with the phonics. The phonics is what's needed in order to help students because a lot of our students don't have that, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
affect
Thank you.
reading comprehension, yeah. All right. Okay. So, but that's nice that you did work for the church. I hate to hear that that you were let go. That's a long
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
We
sure
can
why,
also
but
use the R1 visa for that if you have someone that
religious, yeah, the religious thing, right?
religious visa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
someone
at
that
your service. I would like to. I'm open to working with you, ma'am,
Okay.
and
Michelle will help.
Anaya.
Yeah,
okay.
Michelle should help you. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how about Miss Aurora? Thank you, Sir Oliver.
Oliver would do
We can
well with the
discuss
interview.
your case when you book on my
Yeah.
on my check on my website. Hello,
Oliver,
Miss Aurora.
Oliver, you're
Mm.
very fluent in English. Your interview should be no big deal.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
big deal.
My English? I took the IELTS a couple of years ago. My score was a 7.5 because
Awesome.
they asked me a business question. I was not able to respond right away because I didn't agree with what she was implying. I wanted to say something, but I got I don't know, for some reason I held back. So I think I
Well,
could have scored higher. But
just be
anyway,
honest and be yourself when you do your interview. Be honest. Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. I
And
will
IELTS is
remember.
more conversational, so you just have to be
Very.
more, yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
artistic,
Yeah.
elaborate more.
Yeah. But anyway, so
Thank-
who's your next person?
Aurora,
Aurora.
Aurora.
Yes, ma'am. Michelle, Dr. Marlena, good evening here.
Yes.
Good morning there.
Hey, Aurora, you turn on your camera?
Sorry, ma'am, I might lose my connection and plus I am not wearing professional clothes right now. I'm sorry.
I've been telling everyone, I said, when you attend, please turn on your camera because it is way better, to have the
Yeah, and then we
facial
can,
expressions.
yeah,
Yeah.
facial
I
expression
love
is
seeing
very
that
important.
because I do comment on it. When you are turning your camera on, I do comment about your gestures, your facial expressions, and so on because you need to check it out. That's why you have to practice in front of the mirror if you have an opportunity to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's okay. Usually the first time they do that, so no big deal.
No big deal. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So, can you introduce yourself to us?
Okay. Once again, good evening. Good evening, Dr. Marlena and Ma'am Shay. Good morning there. And to my fellow, good evening. My name is Aurora Valdez, a licensed professional elementary teacher with 22 years of teaching experience in public elementary school here in the Philippines, and I'm currently teaching fourth grade. I graduated bachelor in elementary education with specialization in preschool, and I pursued Master of Arts in Education, major in Educational Management in the University of Caloocan City, and I graduated last June 2022. With over 22 years, actually, I my experience in 22 years was last January 30. So I have gained with over 22 years of teaching experience. I have gained extensive experience in teaching a different grade level and different subjects, specifically science, math, mathematics, English, and social studies. So throughout my teaching career, I have a privilege in working with diverse student population, and with that, it has enriched my full understanding about the different learning styles and the cultural background of my students. And my teaching approach emphasizes in student engagement, differentiated instruction, and fostering positive and inclusive learning environment because I believe these are essential as to success. I also strive to create a lesson not only educational but also enjoyable, fun, and also relevant to the students' lives. I also implemented teaching strategies and utilized technology to enhance learning experience and increase student engagement. I also focus on building strong relationship with my students because I believe that it is the integral part in classroom management. I'm also committed in continuous professional development and actively seeking opportunities to improve my skills and knowledge. I'm also looking forward to collaborate with fellow teachers in order to support student success. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aurora. That was nice.
Thank you. Yeah, you're very detailed. You want to include why you want to come here too, by the way. And you did mention you're teaching philosophy, no? I missed it.
Um, why do I want to teach in the US? That's
Yes.
what you asked.
Yes.
It's a good idea to also include that whenever you introduce yourself, because that's always one thing they wonder. Why are you interested in coming?
I want to teach in the US because I believe the education system encourages student-centered learning, critical thinking, and creativity, values that I believe align closely with my own teaching philosophy. So, I also believe that the US classroom environment offers diversity in culture, learning styles, and perspectives, which allows me to grow as an educator while contributing my own skills and experience. I'm
Exactly.
also I'm also excited by the opportunity to collaborate with colleagues and use innovative, which I believe that it is one of the strategy in teaching in the US, the innovative teaching methods, and support students in becoming independent and confident learners. And also, I believe that teaching in the US would allow me to make a positive impact while continuing to develop professionally.
Very good. Yeah,
Very good.
because you're essentially doing an interchange of culture. You
Culture.
learn from you, and they learn from you while also learning about the American culture. Yeah, so you did a very good job of detailing that. So, any question for us? Like, do you have any um any question that you want to ask about teaching here?
Actually, ma'am, I have one question, but it's not related to teaching in the US. Um,
Please.
it's all about my teaching license. It will be expired next year, March 14, 2027. Do I need to renew it
You
as
don't
of
need
now?
to. You can apply it here. You can. Once you get hired, we can reciprocate that before it expires, and then you can have it here if you wanna renew your PRC license through online. You can do it online. I
Teaching
can help you with
license.
that.
I can still renew my Philippine teaching license while if God's permit, I am there teaching in the US.
Yes, you can do it online.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that it's not expired before you do your
Before, yeah.
reciprocity. Because if it is already expired, they'll want you to renew it because they don't want expired license to do reciprocity with.
Yes,
So,
because I'm thinking if God's permit, like what I've said, if I have the opportunity to teach in the US by August, so it's only how many few months left for me to for the my license to expire. That's why I ask if I need to renew it.
If you can before you leave, then that's good. It's
it's better,
fine.
even better. Yeah.
Once you get one license reciprocated, what do you call that? One, it is reciprocated here. It's good. You're good.
Yeah.
The license that you have in that certain state, you can reciprocate that in other states, so it's fine. You
Yeah.
don't need the PRC anymore once you get one.
Yeah. So
Easy.
just make sure that you have the date of just as long as it's good when you do your first reciprocity. So yeah, I agree with Michelle. That's what it is. Is your deadline is when you get that reciprocity. And there are 3 states that are easier to get is New Mexico, Illinois, and Maryland. So you just type those names of those state with Department of Education. And once you get there to the Department of Education of, for example, Maryland, you go under licensure. And their licensure, they would explain about a reciprocity. And then you can see that the different requirements that you need.
I have an expert staff for that. That's Mom Michelle Sperata's job. She's the expert and reciprocating your license. So that's why it includes in our service assistance the licensing because
Yeah,
it's
I
really
did a
hard.
lot of
Securing.
Mom Michelle, yeah. I
Mom
got
Michelle is the expert.
yeah, teaching license in Nevada too and New Mexico.
You
Yeah.
just
But in
everything here.
Arizona, I cannot make it because you have to be what is this in person in applying in person
Oh,
there.
really? They changed that one? In Arkansas too, you have to be here in order to apply. So you cannot do
Yes,
reciprocity in Arkansas at all.
yeah.
because you have to be here
And
present.
even Arizona. Yeah.
Arizona.
So
So, ma'am, reciprocity means I don't need to take an exam there, like praxis, like that.
You have to.
you have to in most places. Sometimes it might not be called praxis, but there is some kind of test for everyone.
A level
Yeah,
test.
on whatever you're teaching.
Oh,
Praxis is the most common, but there are some other companies too that are serving states. But Praxis is the most common one. So you
Yeah,
want,
that's why.
yeah,
Yeah, Dr. McCullough. Yeah, that's why I told them that they can we can actually what is this see a state in US that could actually reciprocate the Philippine license. Yeah,
all of the states do, except that some schools.
except the Texas. Yeah, some is, yeah, because in Texas they actually need a praxis. Yeah,
Well, everybody does. It's just that there's not
yeah,
different hoops that you have to jump over. So, like
yeah.
Arkansas have extra hoops, like the what do you call it? The TOEFL, TOEFL,
Yeah, yeah. TOEFL, yeah,
IELTS
TOEFL. Yeah,
equivalent. Yeah. So different. Texas doesn't need TOEFL. That's why some
yeah, the
teachers
praxis.
in
Yeah.
Arkansas that are not able to pass TOEFL, they move to Texas. So that's
Mm-mm.
what I have a couple of people that did that because they could not pass the TOEFL. So because
Yeah.
Texas has less requirement than Arkansas.
Mm. And
Yeah.
even in Hawaii, Dr. McCullough, that's why if they want an extension, so in Hawaii, if you cannot pass within that what is this praxis, yeah? So you're not allowed to have an
even
extension
time.
until 3 years only.
Yeah.
Yeah, their visa.
They have to, they have to move to another state if they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it depends on their visa if they allowed to move to another state.
Oh
Dr.
yeah.
McCullough. Yeah.
So they have like a J1 visa. They should be able to move.
Okay, yeah.
So,
But it depends on the what is this? If the visa sponsor is
Allowed
actually that's yeah, allow them to
transfer.
go, they can. But if they cannot, they can't.
Michelle,
Yeah.
do you allow them? Michelle and
We
yours?
do. We do.
Yeah.
We
But
don't provide
in yeah,
as long as they secure
yeah.
themselves a job offer.
In other visa,
I
yeah.
don't I
But
don't
in
provide
Anaya, yeah, you
that.
can.
Yeah, some visa sponsors are more flexible than others. And sounds like
Yes.
Michelle's flexible. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are just focusing on business. We're
Mm,
advocating,
yeah.
Helping
helping them.
people.
That's why you are in good hand in Liberty and Anaya.
Good
We
thing
have
about
Yeah.
to,
Anaya's way, we're a whole package of
yeah.
everything.
We have 10 minutes more, so 10-minute warning. So anybody else that would like to speak and you're not here, I want you all to be recorded. You need to be on the video so that when people see you, especially administrators, you need to be recorded. So even if it's just 1 minute, so talk if you don't, if you don't mind, because it's really important. It will help you. So
Can I
anyway,
introduce myself,
who
Doc?
was not talked? Yeah, I know Albert, we have talked before. Is there anything that you want to ask us, Albert, or share?
Yes, Doc. I just want to say thank you to Ma'am Michelle because we have already talked a while last time. But again, I would like to introduce because I was not able to introduce to Ma'am Michelle.
Go ahead.
I've heard you last time.
Mm.
Yes. Can I introduce again, Ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Yeah. Sige. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Doc Marlena. Good morning, Ma'am Michelle and everyone. By the way, I'm Albert Gallarda from the Philippines. I graduated Bachelor of Arts, major in Social Studies. I also graduated Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies. And I also finished Master in Education, major in Social Studies. I am already more than 2 decades in deep ed, um, teaching social studies subjects in junior high school like history, economics, current events and issues. And today, I'm teaching in senior high school subjects in humanities and social sciences like introduction to philosophy of human person, introduction to politics and governance, introduction to world religion and belief systems, and also discipline and ideas in social sciences. Aside from teaching, ma'am, I'm also teaching outside in the community. I'm teaching martial arts because for me, my philosophy of teaching is teaching is my mission, and students teaching is my divine calling, and students are my mission. So, um, as a teacher of social studies, we should really know our students, because I believe every student is a genius. Every student is like a diamond that we exert all our effort in order for students to shine. So that's it.
Okay.
And as a social studies teacher, ma'am, we should master our content, because if you master your content, we can use a lot of effective teaching strategies to make our students learn. Uh, yeah. And like, for example, in the classroom, I use games, I use role playing for my students to become engaged and to enjoy learning with their classmates. And also, in order to know if my strategies are effective, we should assess our students. So through assessment, we can plan for more engaging activities for our students to learn and enjoy during the teaching learning episodes. And so, when you have the result of assessment, we can reflect what went right and what went wrong, so that we can also ask assistance from our colleagues and from other experts, if probably they have also some effective strategies in order for a certain students to learn. And likewise, we should collaborate to parents, so that our parents also will follow up their students at home, and including the absences of their students, because our goal as parents and in the school is to make our students successful in the future in their studies. That's all, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, Albert, you did an awesome job of using the five core propositions there. I saw I saw you use them.
Thank,
Awesome. And hey,
thank you so much.
because your social studies, if you're knowing the social studies curriculum of K-12 here in Arkansas, for example, in the States, really, it's gonna be mostly world history or
Or
state
America.
history. Yeah, U.S. history. So since you don't have that, you want to be beef up on that before you interview, and focus on the other subjects other than those, because
ELA.
that's going to be a weakness. Yeah. But I would focus
Yes,
on
ma'am.
private school for you instead of public school, because private school would be more interested in those than public school you'll struggle in, because we call the social studies area of all the three, because it's not tested. It's like a dime a dozen. We get a lot of the coaches here. They're always taking social studies as their minor, because or their major, because there are less social studies classes. I asked them, like, why are most of the coaches social studies teachers? They said, because Marlena is like one or two courses less than the others. So they were like taking that. And also, so that's why it's very hard to find a need for social studies unless it's on economics, as psychology, or any other classes other than just history. Okay, so government, because but the private schools will be looking for them. Okay, so that's what I would
Okay, thank
recommend
you so
is
much.
focus on private school,
My
because
tip for you for a specific subject you have, once you apply for a certain school, read their curriculum,
yeah,
know
Thank you.
about the school,
yeah,
and then usually the integrated and the subject that needs to be integrated for social studies is the ELA.
yeah.
So once
Okay.
you incorporate that in your interview, make sure you integrate the ELA to your social studies,
Yeah,
because that's what
it's
they want to hear.
it's
Typic, um,
ccss.org. Yeah,
the state has different approaches in hiring social studies teachers. So different state, they have different approaches. So
yeah.
that's what you have to take note when you are applying. You focus on their curriculum.
So again, go to the
Thank you
Department
so
of
much, ma'am.
Education. So if you're thinking Arkansas, for example, you go to Arkansas Department of Education and go under curriculum department and go look at the curriculum, the list of curriculum for the different subject areas in social studies, and then study those, because there are several in there. And so different states will have different ones but most of this, the actual source is the Common Core. So it's ccss.org is the website. So you go to ccss.org, Common Core State Standards.org, and that's the original source of this curriculum that the states have adopted. So you can see the social studies and other areas, which is really, I think it starts with literacy and then math, and then the last part of it is the integrated, like Shay was mentioning, the integration across the curriculum, which is with literacy. So you need to look at that area there. So you really need to focus on the first part, which is literacy, and then focus on the last part, which is the other. Okay, social studies and other is what it is. But that's the thing
Yes,
is
ma'am.
because,
Thank you.
yeah, because of all the four core areas, three are tested: the literacy, math, and science. So they have not gotten around to doing social studies. So that's why, whenever like I do tutoring, for example, or my consulting, we pull them from social studies classes because they're not tested. So well, we don't really pull them because it's a core area. We pull them from electives. But if you have to, of all the four areas that you can spare a little, would be social studies. You cannot pull them in the others because they're tested. So especially the testing is in April. So like we have one more month before the big test where the schools are being judged and being pitted against each other to see who's the better school, better district. And so social studies would be a focus for private school. They will have that, but
Okay.
yeah. So that's what I would do if I were you, is go through and you can Google for the list of private schools in the different states. Once you get that list, then go to their website. And then their website will show you what their needs are. The private schools in the US are not as strict as the private as public school because they're not under the federal guidelines because they have their own money. They raise their own money from the parents. So a lot of times people are teaching out of context, out of their area. And it's okay because if you are private school. So in any of those, like with BA degree or other areas where there's no alignment, I would recommend go to private school because they have the flexibility, you know. So that's what I would do. They don't get paid as much as the government schools, but a lot of times your number of students are so little, the discipline problems so good, not much there. You might have 10% or whatever, but compared to 70 or 80 in other, in some of the public schools. So your life would be easier. Yeah. You'll have the,
Thank you so much.
yeah, you have the support of the community as well, very, very active. So there's a lot of the pros and cons there, but that's what I would say to social studies and other areas that's not aligned, you know, with the other requirements. So yeah, what do you think, Shay? What's wrong
Yeah,
about those?
I
Yeah.
can suggest in Florida we do that. The integrated subjects are science and math. So and ELA and social studies are the one that
Always partner,
partner,
yeah.
always partner.
Which means that a lot of times they don't even hire a social studies teacher because they'll ask the ELA teacher to.
ELA,
And so
yes.
that's why the our social studies teachers, they focus mostly on coaching because there are a lot of times they're hired because they're coaches and then they just happen to be teaching a class or two of social studies. That's usually what's going on. Their hard focus seems to be on their coaching part because that's where especially if they're good coaches. So
Exactly.
yeah, so for you on your interview, they're going to be asking you what a sport are you willing to coach because most of the coaches are social studies teachers. So that
Yes.
might be something that you need to look, like for example, volleyball. Volleyball is a really big thing or soccer. Those are really getting big here in the US. So, of course, football. I don't know if you do football there in the Philippines now or baseball, any of those. But yeah, they want to hire people that could also coach, especially if they're in social studies or science areas. So yeah, those are the two areas that most of our coaches are teaching in. So anyway, um, I think we need to close up, Shay, unless there's somebody else that really want to talk and did not talk
Yeah.
earlier.
For those who haven't been called for sharing, is this Ma'am Giselle? Yeah, Marites. Is this your first time here? Marites? Ebora?
Yeah,
Hello, Ma'am
I don't
Marites?
recognize Marites's name.
Yeah, it seems like she's
Marites, you
not.
want to introduce yourself? I don't have to ask you
Hi, ma'am. Hi.
talk.
Hi,
Yeah.
Doc.
Yes.
I'm Martes Ibarra from
Oh,
the
you look
Philippines.
familiar,
And hi,
Marites. I've seen you
Michelle.
before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew Ma'am Doc Merlinda McCullough on my messenger, and I just received a message. Then I joined with this
Okay,
with
gotcha.
it.
Okay, well, thank
Yeah.
you for joining. Yeah, you
And
look very friendly.
and uh just just an appreciation with this Zoom meeting. It's so very, very helpful. I just had my interview, honestly. I just had my interview, admissions interview last month, and yeah, I failed.
Oh,
And
no.
and with this, I take notes, and I will remember those things
Well,
next
good.
time.
So good luck on your next
So
one, huh?
I'll be higher.
Why did you feel like you failed? What you reflect on it, on what was the reason?
Uh, Maybe because of the 45 minutes they asked. 45 minutes, it's like, uh, tell me, and let me imagine that I'm one of your student, I'm in your class. Make me imagine the whole session, the 45 minutes of your lesson, like that. And
So how did you
I
do
I
that? How did you answer?
I explained. I gave the motivation for 5 minutes, the lesson, because I had more combination class when I was still in my first experience in public school, and I I I stammer. I keep on doing, okay, okay, oh my god. But with this Zoom meeting, it's very helpful to me. And like you've asked earlier, who's the teacher that is had an experience working in a hunter in the mountain? I
Mhm.
guess that was me.
Good. You need to mention that. Mention that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and is it something unique about me is include that in your
yeah,
something unique about me is that I had to travel whatever through rivers, through whatever in order to reach, you need to say that because that's gonna get their attention. Like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. Because that's your hook. You're gonna hook them. Okay, because they want to talk to you and you're gonna get excited talking about it because it is your experience. So yeah, do that. Hook them. Okay. And when you do your tell me about your 45 minutes. You need to start with, I'm by the door.
Probably she was asked to demonstrate.
How to
You don't
demonstrate?
need to do it literally. You
Yeah,
just have to describe
describe it. Yeah, but
how
you
your class,
start with,
how you're going to do your class.
yeah, start with I'm by the door waiting for my students. I think it's important that I am by the door greeting my students. When they come in, they see the classroom already has
Standards.
the board is already, it's got my agenda, it already got my the bell ringer for the day, and they already know whatever. And so since this is not my first week of school, my students already know the expectations that when they come in, they're going to sit down and they're going to do the bell ringer. Okay, and then while I'm doing this, doing my lunch count and my whatever, and then once that's finished, I will get up and I will do. And then after the 5 minutes, whatever it is to close up your bell ringer, then you start with your objectives. The objectives are written on the board, and then I put learning targets where it is in a student friendly language. I can do this. So it's an I can language. So you need to do that in order to open your class. The kids need to know what they're about to learn. Okay, and they need to know the activities that you're going to do because
Activities,
that helps with,
strategies.
yeah, this is what we're going to study within these minutes. These are the activities we're going to do. So you kind of give them a preview of it. Okay. And then I start with my motivation. And then not just talk about you, talk about, okay, when I do my motivation, I expect
The
my
kids
students to
are
do this. So always go back and forth like a tennis. This is what I do. This is what the
what
students
my students do, and
do.
this
This
is
is
the
what I expect my
outcome.
students to do. Yeah,
They're
not just about you
expecting.
always. Always go
Yes.
back to what the students should be doing, should be talking or whatever. Okay. So that's what you need to do. So
It's just like touring them inside your class.
Yeah,
With that
you do.
gradual release.
And when you do it, do a chunk of it. Don't just do, I
Yeah.
did 45 minutes. Do 10 minutes of this.
Yeah.
This is what I did for 10 minutes. Then, so you tend to strategy, excuse me, I'm about to wrap up. The two tend to strategy. See, you can say I use 10-2 strategy, which means that I broke my lesson into 10 minutes. And so after 10 minutes of me doing the lesson, and you can even use a specific lesson, and then I anchor the information. I have my students anchor the information by asking them to respond, to do think, pair, share, and or think, write, pair, share. Some strategy there. And then after that, then we debrief. We talk about whatever, and then I go to my next 10 minutes, whatever, and then how I anchor that. So you can kind of think about chunking it, but you always need to look about how you also include how you differentiated it. So when you were having them in a small groups, you have them grouped because of what reason? You know your students. So you did at the beginning of the year, I did a learning style inventory. I know who are my kinesthetic learners are. I know who are my auditory and all that. So I grouped them together that way. And so that way, when I did the second chunk, this is what happened, and all that. And also show that you have a gradual release of responsibility. So you're doing, I do it myself. I explain it to you. And then now we do it. Okay. I'm guiding you. And then now you do it with a partner and then maybe with a group. So show that in your lesson that you're chunking it, you're differentiating, and then you are doing the gradual release of responsibility. And there's always some kind of presentation. If you do something with their presenting, they're presenting
Right.
ideas, and then having the audience to give a comment, having a feedback about that. I have my students get a little index card and they write their comment, a glow grow comment, and then they give it to the presenters. And then all the presenters will open at the same time so they could see how they did. So anyway, so something like that, like a fun class. It's not just and you are a guide on the side in some of these. You're not talking the whole time. You're having them do the work. At the end of the day, and you say this, at the end of the day, I expect my students to be the ones tired because they were doing all the thinking and they were doing all the working, and they should be tired, more tired than me. And so that's what good teaching is. Okay? And so
Thank you, Doc.
a good way to close it. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
validation.
you so much,
Saying that
Maritel.
you learned something, Maritas. It's
Thank
always,
you, Ma'am Michelle.
yeah, Michelle, that's a music to our ears when somebody says, I learned something.
Exactly.
Because I learned
Yeah.
from all of you guys. I always
I
do.
was just I was just here turning off my camera and turning off my audio, and then I was taking notes and I'm listening, and oh, this is Mom Michelle, this is the and this is Mom Merlin.
That's
Okay,
good.
it's my turn now. Thank you,
Exactly.
ma'am.
That's good. See, Mom Michelle shared her points on how you're going to introduce your class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the very important. As Dr. McCullough
It's a
said, the
gradual
gradual
release of
release of
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Mm.
Make them
Yeah,
tired.
we always do, and you will always do that when you are teaching US.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so last
Yeah.
message from Michelle and Michelle, the two Michelles, and see what you want to say to everybody. If Giselle is still here, closing remarks. Unless we
Thank
have
you so
somebody
much
else.
for attending this webinar, and thank you, Dr. McCullough, for another webinar. We've missed this webinar for how many
I
weeks
was I
because
was
of the busy schedule that we
thank you.
had,
So it's
and we
monthly
have
now, okay? April 4th is our next one. April 4th. First Saturday of each month. So now it's so easy to remember. If it's the first Saturday, we're having a Zoom. Okay?
Okay,
Same
applicants,
link.
my advice: do not lose hope. We're just started the year, so until the end of the school year, if
Yeah.
it is not really meant for you this year, then
Next year.
there will be
Yeah.
next year.
Don't lose hope.
Just
If you
hold
lose,
on, don't lose hope. Just it's the perfect timing is coming.
yep.
It's
If there's life, there's hope, okay?
exactly.
Okay, you want
Don't
to make
resign.
yeah. The other Michelle, do you have a closing thing you want to say, message?
Yes, ma'am. So, I will turn on my camera this week.
Yeah, share if you have learned anything, if you want to, something that you want to
Yeah.
say to close.
Yeah, so thank you, Dr. McCullough, Ma'am Michelle, and the rest. And for those who are J1 applicants, so thank you for your interest on this webinar. So this is actually the opportunity, and it is not just about work and travel, but also about cultural exchange, learning, and personal growth. So we encourage you to prepare, of course, your documents carefully, follow all application steps. So we wish you all the best of luck in your application and hope this experience will be meaningful and rewarding for you. Yeah.
Yay, good job to Michelle.
And
Awesome.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. McCullough. Thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
for this experience for our J1 applicants. And soon we will get there in US. See you
That would be
soon.
nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
Hi, you
thank you
are
also,
making
Ma'am
a
Michelle.
difference. You are all making a
Mhm.
difference in the life of kids. So, you know,
Yeah.
keep working and keep smiling and be happy.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we will see you here in the US. Okay.
Yeah, thank
Love
you.
you guys. Okay.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. See you April
Bye-bye. Thank
4th.
you so much.
Bye. Thank you,
April 4th.
everyone.
Okay. Bye bye.
Do I have to end this, Doc?
Yes,
And
please.
you just have to go to our website.
Okay.
It's
Thank you.
liquidmoneycounseling.com.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Giselle.
Bye bye.